After doing many videos where we follow #1 overall prospects, let's do the #1 overall transfer portal player. And today we are going to do something I wasn't really able to do last year because the transfer portal wasn't nearly as prevalent as it was last year. It's a lot bigger of a deal now when you get top players leaving. So how about we go up first? We're going to get a couple of real players to start the video. First maybe 2 to 3 are going to be real life players, and the first one being Colin Simmons moving over to Duke. So it's going to be a little bit more of a quick fire video when it comes to the careers that we'll be seeing, because a lot of these guys are going to be probably one and dones. A lot of the players that you're going to be seeing in the transfer portal that are the #1 overall players, 90 plus overall before progression, and then with it, you're probably going to be seeing them declare, or they'll just outright be seniors. So it's a bit of a trade-off. You get a lot more talented players because the #1 overall portal player is already fully developed almost and is already certified like a top level player in the nation, but the trade-off is you don't get as much time with them. And for guys like Colin Simmons, you're over here taking on USC in a playoff game and you're down by 10, and Duke trying to make a 10-point comeback with just 8 minutes to play. What do you got for us as they throw it underneath? Going to be caught for a 3rd down and 7 as they'll throw outside, reeled in, and it'll be tackled shy. 4th down, and you really could have went for it there if you wanted to. 4th and short, they opt to punt it and trust the defense. I mean, you brought over Colin Simmons for a reason. I guess you're going to trust these guys to get you the football back, and they're going to get 6 yards. Another part of this is we're going to see, did these players make the right decision for their careers? Was transferring the thing that they needed, or was it something that actually ended up hurting them? As Simmons, taking a little bit of a risk going to a school like Duke, but they're in the playoffs, and it's not looking like they are going to be able to hold USC at a scoring range unless you can get a stop here. 2nd and 12 as they'll throw down the field. It's an open man and a touchdown, and maybe you had a chance if you held to a field goal to keep it a 2-score game, but now down by 3 scores with 5 minutes to play. It's not looking likely for Duke, as our first player could be going out in round 1. He'll throw for an incomplete pass on 3rd down. 4th and 3, maybe your last try at this, a pitch out, it's all over for Duke. And while individually Colin Simmons played spectacularly, it wasn't really enough to get the team over the hump and get to a playoff victory. But Simmons had an insane season, going from Texas to Duke. 21 sacks, including a 5-sack performance against #5 Tulane. Yeah, this is what we're going to be seeing a lot of, even though he's a true junior. Of course he's going to go to the draft after that season. 1st round draft pick, and we move on to the next guy, which is going to be a big name player, Bryce Underwood, going to Oregon. So, former #1 overall quarterback recruit going to Oregon to be this team's starter. And he's got himself basically maxed out in a couple of attributes: power, quickness, health, and he's still going to be, pretty dang accurate. They're not going to make the playoffs, though. Oregon, number 23 in the country. Michigan, also not in the playoffs, so it's not like they did better without him. Oregon 8-4 on the season, and gonna be sacked. Bryce Underwood goes down to start things off. They're up by 5 though against this Arizona State team, and that's an interception. I think he was hit as he was throwing. Sun Devils will take over from the 38-yard line. They'll go with a handoff, and that's a lot of room. 1st down and a quick gain of 11 as they're already at midfield. 2nd down, and they'll throw one up, and that was a nice ball placement to give only his receiver a chance. Just wasn't able to come down with the 3rd down and 9, and the drag route coming across the field for the 1st. And Arizona State, field goal range has been acquired, but they need more than that to take the lead here, as the read option will get 3. 3rd down and 7 with 7.5 to play. Clean pocket, throwing it down the middle, in between everybody. Touchdown, as Oregon really was lacking on the back end there. Everyone kind of crashed downwards, and it left him past everybody as Bryce Underwood taking over with a lot of time and finding his receiver. You give a quarterback like Bryce Underwood that much time in the pocket, he's going to find somebody open, as now they go back to him on the underneath pass for a gain of 9. Underwood 260 on the day, as they'll go with the handoff on 3rd and 2, and he is drilled, taken to the ground, and Arizona State will take over after the punt. Screen play will get 2nd down and 6 as they will throw once more, and this time just a standard drop back pass, and they'll have a man coming across the field once again. open catch and run. Good job just getting these yards after catches. A fumble now on the sack, and they're not able to pick it up. Arizona State keeps the football. You should still be able to get up the field here. It's 3rd and 25. It'd be embarrassing if you gave this up, and even though you give them some time, incomplete pass. Oregon takes over with 4 minutes to play, needing a field goal for a potential victory. Run game not doing much for them in this 4th quarter, so it's going to be Underwood throwing it down the field, one-on-one, and it's swatted away. Nice coverage by Arizona State. Is now 3rd down and 12. Underwood over the middle, and he finds an open man. And that will get him into enemy territory as you're basically on the fringe of field goal range. And going for more, it's incomplete. 3rd down and 7, 2:50 to play as Underwood is going to throw it outside over the head of his receiver. And they're going to punt it from about the enemy 40-yard line. I don't love that. I understand if you can't hit a field goal from that long. Arizona State, though, what a catch down the field, and Oregon out of timeouts. And it's not looking good because time running down, and they are going to need a stop here. They're out of timeouts, 1:16 to play, and the sack fumble, but it's scooped up by Arizona State again. That's the 2nd strip sack they weren't able to pick up. Now with just 30 seconds to play, Bryce Underwood has got it from his own 20, but he immediately delivers a 30-yard play. 20 seconds to go after the spike. Underwood finds a receiver and to the 36-yard line. Clock is going to be ticking down once everybody gets set, and they're going to spike it here. They could just go for the field goal now or maybe try another play. 13 seconds, they're going to go for another shot. You can get tackled in bounds, but it'd probably be your last try, and that's going to be that last try. Incomplete pass, long field goal for the game. Kick is way wide left. And Underwood, he set his team up, but he just had a kicker that missed it. Not even close. He puts up over 300 yards, but it wasn't enough. He has overall a much better season. 37 touchdowns, 4 picks, but just not as successful in the win-loss category. No playoff appearance for him. But, he goes out and has a great season. A 7-touchdown game against Maryland's pretty impressive. And he's going to be a 1st-round draft pick to no surprise. So, already 2 for 2 on the 1st-round draft picks. And in what should be our final, real-life player, once you're getting to this point, year 4 after this, I would imagine we're not going to have any real-life players, but we're going to have another premier quarterback prospect, Julian Lewis, moving over to LSU. I usually will go through videos like this and show you where they are on the depth chart and stuff. There's not really much of a need for that. Every single player is basically going to be a starter. So, that's why that's not really popping up. These guys are going to be starters. These are 90+ overall players. We don't really need to, worry about that, as I also would imagine a guy like Julian Lewis wouldn't want to show up on a team like LSU if he wasn't going to be the starter. So we go into a game where, again, LSU's, they went 8-4, just like Bryce Underwood did at Oregon, 8-4, but I think the expectations were a little bit higher. BYU 8-5 in a bowl game between 2 unranked schools. Not bad, but not a playoff appearance and not something that Julian Lewis was maybe aiming for. When you're going to be the #1 portal player and you're going to an SEC school, you're going to Oregon, you're going to one of these major teams, you're expecting to be a missing piece to put them over the hump. And right now, even though Julian Lewis is just torching this BYU team and getting a victory, it's not going to maybe be the season that you had envisioned. Still, though, you played a really good game, really good season. 3 touchdowns, no picks in this one, 78 completion percentage, and an overall season of 40 touchdowns to 7 picks, and got a little bit better efficiency-wise, completion percentage, yards per attempt, all that stuff on the up and up, and he's going to be going straight to the NFL as well. 1st-round draft pick, it looks like, and he will go in the 1st round. So 3 for 3 in that regard. It's going to be a lot of 1st-round draft picks, but how about we have a little bit of an interesting dilemma here. So the next player was actually a real-life player, but he didn't end up actually committing anywhere. And this video is going to basically cover the top transfer portal player who switched teams and is actually somewhere. I couldn't find the other guy. I don't know where he went. So we moved down to AJ Frazier, who's not a real-life player. AJ Frazier was previously a high-level quarterback prospect, and he's going to USC. And for AJ Frazier, going to be about a 90 overall, making the playoffs, 11-1 for USC, and a second round matchup against Kansas State. So let's get into some fun action here, where we actually get to see some unique, fun, new players get involved. And AJ Frazier is going to have his receiver fumble it out of bounds, but it will be a first down completion. It's 23-17 with 9 minutes to play, and they have the football, and they are going to have a completion for a second down and 4 now, as at the 49-yard line, another completion reaching, and he's got the first down. As we move ahead, they're going to go with the running back for a loss of 1. Third down and 8 now, as Frazier taking a shot deep, and it's in double coverage and incomplete, also a bit underthrown. But that'll be a punt, as the USC defense is going to get a sack and a force third down and long, as Kansas State throwing a pass down the field, and that's going to be caught. His receiver coming down with the contested grab, and that is a massive difference. And now Kansas State deep ball the other way, touchdown! And what a pass, as the vertical passing game for K-State doing its job, and now USC really needs to get more urgent here. 13-point deficit with 6 minutes to play, as a running back is going to lose 3 more. Probably just got to start throwing the football just about every play, as it's going to be a 4th and 7 after a 3-yard loss, as now AJ Frazier down the middle, and that's a tight window, but he fits it in for a first, keeping things alive as a play action. Now finding another man over the middle, and he's got room to run, and into the red zone to the 15-yard line, trying to pull themselves within 1 score once again. Frazier, middle, caught, down to the 2-yard line, as it's goal to go, and Frazier looking, throwing back in the end zone, and a diving grab, touchdown USC. And they're not done yet, all their timeouts and under 4 minutes to play, and Kansas State with a play action rollout and a first down and a 17-yard gain. Can't allow too many more first downs though. Another play action, another rollout, another play where they're gonna get 6 more yards. Third down and 4. USC still holding on to those timeouts for now, as that pass is incomplete. He was open, but he just missed him, and USC takes over with an opportunity. 2-minute warning has hit. Third down and 1. They go with the run. He's fighting, falling forward, and what an effort. First down. The run game hasn't been efficient, but that was a great 1-yard play, as USC's passing attack is the one getting the job done. And Frazier taking the shot deep. He's got him open. Touchdown! And Frazier delivers a comeback, 31-30, as now K-State with 1:20 to play, and they got to respond, and that's going to be an amazing start with a 22-yard catch and run. 1:15 to go. Run play stopped. Backfield loss of 4. As now we're ticking down to 60 seconds to play, and a short pass is going to have a lot of room to run again, where you get 12 yards from the 47. Now 3rd and 2. He's taking off, and it's not going to be a big game, but it's enough for the first down. Kansas State down to 1 timeout, as they'll throw for a short completion, 6 yards and out of bounds, though that's the key. As 3rd down and 4, they go draw, and it works for the first down. And they're just about in field goal range, and they'll throw to get even closer. And now things are looking really dire for USC, because this field goal is getting easier and easier. Time is running down. They're out of timeouts. 20 seconds to play, and down the middle, touchdown. They didn't even want to settle for 3. They take it all to the end zone. 2-point conversion for the full touchdown lead, and that's no good. So USC, I mean, if you got 14 seconds and an 80-yard play in you, maybe he'll throw it as far as he can. And that's a pretty big arm. He had his hands on it. He had a chance at it, but he couldn't hold on. And now the last play of the game, that's a nothing play. And unfortunately, despite a massive game from Frazier in an awesome 4th quarter, where he pulled themselves out of a deficit of 13 points down with 5 minutes to play, throws for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, was not enough to get the job done. But coming over from Notre Dame, yeah, definitely a big step-up season, going from 19 touchdowns, basically doubling that, and then you go add 2 more rushing touchdowns there. Had a really nice season as a whole, and the thing that's going to be fun about it is he's actually going to stick around for another season. 90 overall, he didn't want to declare, stays for another year. Leon Hyman from Ohio State. A wide receiver from Ohio State, #1 player in the transfer portal, moving over. Frazier looking like he's an amazing player. And how about Leon Hyman as a redshirt sophomore? He is a 99 overall after progression. So he was a 95, goes up +4, and he is unbelievable. And Ohio State, how'd you let that guy walk out the door? He was a redshirt sophomore, and he is going to be winning awards this season. What a year from Leon Hyman, taking home, it looks like, all of the awards, because when you start winning those ones, you soon see the Heisman Trophy. And already, we only are a couple people into the video. We got a Heisman Trophy winner at a 99 overall at Clemson. They are going to be in the playoffs, as is AJ Frazier in USC. So we're going to see what this guy Hyman has, as he's already up over 1,800 yards in the first play we watched for Clemson. They fumbled the football away to Arizona State. It's 21-14, and what seemed to be a 2-score lead about to be taken by Clemson is going to be fumbled away, and Arizona State now has the door wide open for them to try to pull themselves within tying this game, as it'll be a completion on first down for a gain of 7. Second down and 3, and they'll throw once more outside. First down, and he'll break a tackle, make it 2, and get out of bounds to the 42-yard line. Third down and 10 once again, as they'll throw an interception. Once again, they go to the air, and this time, Clemson's defense bails them out, because now they get the football right back in good field position, right where they were, to try to go get that 2-score lead once again, as now at the 30-yard line, floating it outside, and the running backs got it. Everybody gonna get involved in this passing attack, because Clemson, I mean, we'll get into it after the games and everything, but this Clemson offense was more than just a Heisman winning wide receiver. It was a pretty crazy offense. It's a touchdown for Clemson's going to put them up by 2 scores. 7 minutes to play, and a completion for Arizona State, but they got to try to keep pace with this offense, and they're going to want to have a chance at this one. They're going to need to double their scoring output all game in the next 5.5 minutes, which is seemingly going to be an unlikely scenario, as they are down to 4th and 5. And they're going to throw from midfield. He'll take a shot down the field. It's high arcing. It's incomplete in double coverage. And Clemson looks like they can maybe put this game away, as time is running out and opportunities are running out. 3rd and 9, but there's just 3 minutes to play. And an open man. Touchdown, Clemson again. And just like that, 35-14 was your score, and Arizona State was able to put up a late touchdown. Clemson recovers the onside, puts up a field goal, and we end with Leon Hyman going for 53 yards and a touchdown. So he wasn't even the big-time playmaker of that game, but still put it in the end zone, helped this team get a victory, and we move over to the second round. We have 2 second-round teams, AJ Frazier, Leon Hyman. They're both in opposite sides of the bracket. We'll take over Frazier here against Georgia. They were pretty close last year. I mean, you go and win that game against Kansas State, you go on to a semifinals appearance. Who knows what could have happened, but it was so close, but not quite. This time against Georgia, it's a close game, and Frazier, with all the time in the world, finds a man in the end zone. Touchdown to take the lead, 24-20, as the defense takes over, and let's see if they can help out their quarterback, as Georgia will go for a completion of 6, 3rd down and 1. They'll sneak, and he's stopped on the sneak. What a play. And the defense, yeah, that's helping out your QB, as Frazier takes over 3rd and 2, and the run game gets the first down and more. And USC for 12. I mean, that's 12 yards rushing on the game for that running back. It's not been a good day for the rushing attack, and Frazier delivering a beautiful ball on the sidelines to the 36-yard line, looking for that 7-point lead, which would be huge here, as clock is ticking down to 5.5 seconds and inches, running the football as they're closing in on the red zone, but there's a flag down. And second and, it wasn't even inches, it was second and a single inch, it seemed like, is going to be resulting in them going back to 2nd and 10. Frazier is going to have time on a 3-man rush. They send an extra man, and he breaks out of the sack. You got to get rid of it, and he can. 3rd and 22, as now Frazier out of field goal range, got to find their way back in, and they do, and it's 4th and inches. They'll go for the field goal. That was incredible. I mean, he almost got that first, and I think after that play, I would have considered going for it on 4th and inches, and they'll just instead take the 7-point lead, trust their defense with 3 minutes to play. Georgia got to go roughly 70 yards all the way to the end zone, as they are going to start with 12 yards there as we tick closer to the 2-minute warning. Screen blown up and incomplete. 3rd down and 6 as they'll throw. And with time, taking the shot down the field, one-on-one coverage back in the end zone, and it's a little too far out. And he actually had maybe half a step there. It was possible. 4th down and 6 instead, as they'll send a blitz. Extra men on the rush, and it's a sack. And USC takes over with under 2 to play. And Georgia needing to use their timeouts, but I mean, USC's in field goal range, so regardless of if you get the stop or not, it might be all over, as they are going to get that stop. But at the 29-yard line, just a 45-yard field goal. It is good. Georgia does end up driving all the way down the field, but with no timeouts, we're at 12 seconds to play. They do score a touchdown, but I mean, onside kick, it's going to be scooped up by USC. Even if Georgia did pick it up, you got maybe one play to get yourself into field goal range. Wouldn't have really worked, it felt like, but I mean, good job from USC to get the job done here, win the playoff game. They're going to the semifinals. Frazier, 233, 2 touchdowns through the air. Really nice game, and we go over to Hyman. It's 21-18, Texas on top of Clemson, and let's see what this receiver and this overall Clemson insane passing attack can do. Right now, they're down to Texas, who has the football, and right up the seam to the tight ends. Got the first down, 31-yard line, 3rd down and 6 for Texas. As pressure is in, and a sack. 4th down and long, and that knocked him out of field goal range. As now Hyman with the catch. It's going to be a 6-yard gain, as now 3rd and 4. I want to see them go to Hyman, but you got all these other receivers. He's going to bring that in at about midfield, as now 2nd and 7, running back. Gonna get them 4. 3rd and 3 with under 6 to play. Blitz is sent in over the middle and caught for the first down. I mean, Hyman isn't even doing all the big plays right now, as he's had a good game, but the rushing attack has not. Meanwhile, they go screen. It's gonna be running back for a short gain to get him into field goal range. I guess a little bit closer. They'll go for the tie. Kick is good. Texas takes over. We're at 3:20 to play in a tie game. And Texas gonna get him to 3rd down and 5. Motioning out of the backfield is the running back. Texas will go the other way, and a tight end first down. Gain of 13, 2-minute warning, and you're maybe 20, 25 yards away from field goal range, and there is almost half of it right there. You get 11, I said 20 to 25 yards. Can they get the other, 12-ish yards to get into field goal range, as they have 8 there. 41-yard line, and there you go, into field goal range. And Clemson probably gonna have to start using all of those timeouts. Speed option, that was dangerous. That was so dangerous. Loss of 5. 2nd and 15, play action down the middle. It's intercepted. Oh, Texas, no, you can't throw that into coverage, and you gave away your chance to win it. And now it's Clemson's try at it, as that pass too high, and there's a flag down. And Texas, it's pass interference. What's going on? Longhorns are imploded. They need to survive till overtime. 50 seconds to go. And the completion to the 41-yard line. 5 more yards after that, as now they're down to no timeouts. And 2nd and 5 results in 3rd and 3 with the clock still running. He couldn't get out of bounds, as now they are going to get the sack. And that will mean they survive to see overtime. In a 21-21 matchup, it'll be Texas's ball first in overtime, as they'll start with the throw, swing it outside of the running back, who's got a lot of room, and give him 12 yards already, about halfway to the end zone. Play action. Texas line doing a great job. He's gonna go for the end zone, and he throws an interception. Oh, Texas, are you ever gonna get good QB play? My goodness. Clemson takes over, and even though they took a sack here, I feel like you could just take just spike the ball at this point, and you can kick a field goal. They'll go and get the sack yardage back. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Just don't do anything silly. They throw a screen. I like the call. They'll get the 1st down, so keep playing it safe as they'll throw once more. You don't need the touchdown, but it looks like they're headed for the end zone as it's goal to go. Toss it out. He's untouched and he's in. Touchdown, Clemson. And Texas's quarterback basically just threw that game all away. I don't even know what he was doing there, especially on that interception late in the 4th quarter. Hyman, though, we didn't see much from him, but he goes for 176 and a touchdown as we jump over to the semifinals. Both of our teams are in the semis, USC and Miami now, as it's A.J. Frazier with a touchdown, handing it off to his back. And it's going to be a 14-point lead against the #1 ranked Hurricanes. You're going to need a lot to come back in this one, especially when that's your quarterback stat line. 89 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 picks, and you're running the football for less than 4 a carry. Yeah, I don't know what you're really going to do here, as that is a nice play, a nice throw. But my goodness, the quarterback play has been disgusting for Miami, and the offense as a whole has been bad. They'll lose yards. They're 3rd and 11 as he'll get hit as he's throwing. Ball hits the dirt, and they'll punt. Yeah, this is not looking good for Miami, especially when you got the other quarterback going, A.J. Frazier, playing solid, as he'll go, hand it off, and it'll be a tackle for loss. So nice job for the Miami defense. If there's one thing about USC that we've seen so far with A.J. Frazier, their running attack has been awful. They'll go for a long field goal, though. That's going to be 56 yards. It's no good. Be honest there. I know it's for a 3-score lead, 56 yards, but you're in a spot where Miami's offense has been awful. You punt that ball, pin them back, and make them have to go at least 80 yards to go down the field to make this a 1-score game. That's going to be hard for them to do. Instead, you give them good field position. They're already with 1 first down at midfield, as with 5 minutes to play, they go with a quick route and a open man for a 15-yard catch and run. They're at the 35-yard line. Set up a screen as they're trying to make things easy for this quarterback, and the receivers are helping out. 3rd and 1. Sneak it. 1st down, as they are at the 25-yard line with under 4 to play. Over the middle, it's caught it down to the 3. Goal to go, as Miami finally waking up a little bit on offense as a 1-yard gain. 3rd and goal to the air. He's throwing to an open man just sitting in the end zone. 1-score game with 3 minutes to play, and Frazier got to play it safe. Here it said it had to play it safe. It can't throw a pick immediately. No, Miami has got it at the 25-yard line, and this could be a disastrous collapse for USC. 1st down, they're in the red zone. 14-yard line, blitzing in, he evades it, passes, heads it up in the air, and it's picked off by a D lineman, and he evaded the sack, but the defender still got the hit. Ball just floated up and picked off. You get another chance if you're USC. Frazier on the keeper, he's gonna get the 1st down. Just play it safe. Frazier sacked. That's fine, better than throwing it into coverage, as Miami 2nd and 16. Pass is caught, and it will be 3rd and 10 for the Miami defense. They'll swing it out on a little dump off, and that will make them burn all their timeouts. That means Miami, though, out of timeouts, 2-minute warning has hit, but they still got plenty of time and a touchdown to tie. They'll start with a 1st down as we go to 1:20 on the clock, and another good play over the middle. This Miami offense really playing a little bit different in this 4th quarter as they'll sling one to the outside. Clock running down. 2nd and 4, they'll hurry back, no spike, as they'll send everybody down the field, and it's caught inside the red zone. 47 seconds. Could we be headed to overtime? Miami over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. He missed them. 4th and 4. Game on the line with time. He's going to try to scramble. He's got it right on the line. And they're hurrying back. 27 seconds. Screen is not going to get them anything. They lose yards. 3rd and goal with 15 seconds to play. Clock running. He's looking. He's sacked. Fumbles the football, it's on the ground, and that is going to do it. They are not going to have enough time to get back to the line. They're trying, but it's just not enough. Game is over. And it was a scary finish for USC, who was really put in a tough spot, especially with the interception. But they come up big. Frazier is going to a national title game, but against who? Will it be against our 99 overall receiver Hyman, or will it be against the number 11 ranked Tulane? It would be awesome to guarantee a national championship winner between one of these two very talented players, one of these two very good players. I mean, obviously one being the Heisman winning wide receiver who, with his game in the, last round, I think went over 2,000 on the season, if my math is correct, as he's going to get a completion to him there. Hyman for the first down, and they'll run the football with an open lane up the middle. I mean, Clemson's already up by 7. 8 minutes to play, and they're driving it pretty nicely. Go on the ground, sheds a tackle, and he is at the 23-yard line. 11 carries, 75 yards for that back. So they're running it well, and they're throwing it well. Hyman got a 5-yard completion to him, 3rd and 1 as they'll run it. They are doing a phenomenal job after another first down. I mean, this is just picture perfect offense, grinding out the clock in a 1-score game. And I mean, you put yourself in chip shot field goal range if you don't convert here. 2nd down as they'll throw for a screen. They'll lose a couple, but 3rd down and 9 with 5 minutes to play. Just play it safe here. Even the sack, you can take that, and you'll get yourself a field goal from a very short distance, and they will kick it up and through the uprights. So you took all that time off the clock, leaving 4.5 minutes to go, and it's a 10-point game now. So you did a great job. Clemson is just got to, play some safe defense. Don't let anything crazy happen, and hope that they are able to get the job done here, as Tulane is not going to go down without a fight, as they're throwing one over the middle for a big completion. No one was even near him. Had a lot of room to run, and they're at the 23-yard line. Just over 3 minutes to play, as they're going to tackle him short of the line. 2nd and 1 after a 9-yard pickup and a blitz sent in, as they'll throw for the end zone. He's trying to get there. No, he's a yard shy, but that was a good play, as now with 1 yard to go, now he threw a pick. You had 1 yard. You could have ran it. You could have played it safe. You didn't need to force it. And that is probably going to be it for Tulane, as the completion, 2 first downs, Tulane out of timeouts, and the game is over. I'm not saying they would have been able to win the game if they put it in the end zone there, but they at least would have had a try at it. Instead, Hyman, I mean, what a game. I mean, he had a couple of catches in the 4th quarter, but he was really good when we weren't watching him. I mean, 12 catches over 160 yards. We get Clemson versus USC. So it's Hyman, the Heisman winning receiver, versus A.J. Frazier, a 97 overall quarterback. It's 33-28 in the favor of USC. It's all offense here. 3rd down and 1, sneaking it is Clemson. They got the football on a first down, as they'll go on the ground. He's going to get a stiff arm on a defender and get a nice run past the first down marker, gets another nice little cut inside, redirects himself to get another first down carry. So it's kind of been the run game, sneakily been the best part of this team, it's felt like. And when you got a Heisman winning receiver and you can pair that with a great run game, it's pretty dangerous, as they'll run it up the middle for a 9-yard pickup now. Can they finish the drive off? USC's defense finally getting a loss, and that's a loss of 5. 3rd and 6 now, as with under 5 to go, check it down, and he's not going to get even to the line of scrimmage. They'll actually take the field goal, and from inside the 10, down by a touchdown, they go for the field goal. Now USC, 33-31, and all they got to do is pick up a couple of first downs. There's one there, as Clemson going to start burning those timeouts. They're already down 1. 2.5 to go, as USC for the first down, and a big play in a field goal range. Pitch it out. Running back is going to get us to 2nd and 6, as from the 30-yard line, quick pass caught, as long as you keep it inbound to catch it, keep the chains, keep the time moving. But on 3rd down and 3, they get stopped, and on 4th and 1, you could have went for it to ice the game. Instead, they'll kick the field goal, give Clemson 113, no timeouts, needing a touchdown. So this is the type of moments you're here for. You got a Heisman winning wide receiver in the national championship for a game-winning drive. But how about going to another one here at Sabres for a big play down to the 31-yard line, 45 seconds, as they'll check it down, incomplete to the running back. Probably not so bad that he didn't catch it. Saves you some time, as on 3rd and 10, The throw down the middle, caught into the red zone. 13-yard line. He'll throw up top for the end zone. Back corner, incomplete. And now 31 seconds. 3rd and 10 from the 13. It's caught. Touchdown. And he's running out of here. He's leaving the arena. He left through the tunnel after scoring the touchdown. And the 2-point conversion. It's good. Hyman brings it in. And I wouldn't really leave quite yet. They still got 20 seconds to play. USC to the 47, gain of 29. Can they get the field goal as the completion's going to get them a short pickup? USC down to 1 timeout, 12 seconds to play, down the middle of the field, and he's got a completion for field goal range, and the kick is good, and USC AJ Frazier pulls out a little magic to get us to overtime. A game befitting of the stars that we have on the field, as USC will get us started in overtime with a run play, and they are going to break a tackle, but he fumbles the football in the first play of overtime. He fumbled it away, and he might have just handed it to Clemson as they run the football. Stiff arm, and the difference in this passing game between these two teams, one elite quarterback, one Heisman winning receiver like Heisman, is going to look like it being the run game that gets the job done. As one run game was awesome, the other fumbled it away, and Clemson puts it in the end zone to win the national title. And what a game, what a finish. I think it is amazing that a Clemson player scored what he thought was the game-winning touchdown, just decided to run out the tunnel and end it like that. He had to come back out there, though, because they sent it to overtime. But I feel kind of bad for AJ Frazier because he kind of had his team sell him there at the end. But what a season it was for AJ Frazier. Goes up to 41 touchdowns, 5,000 passing yards. And I think the really crazy thing is, though, when we get to this Clemson offense and what they were able to do, because records were broken. How about Leon Hyman? Most receiving yards in a season with 2,186. But not only that, Avery Davey, the quarterback, had 65 passing touchdowns, 20 interceptions, 6,000 yards. What in the world was that season? Just slinging it all over the field. But Hyman goes for 130 catches, 2,100 yards, almost 2,200, and 24 touchdowns, in which he only had like 4 games below 100 yards the whole year. An all-time great wide receiver season. He gets drafted in the first round, obviously, and AJ Frazier does as well. So we've already set a pretty high bar. And here's also the crazy part. How about back-to-back years? Ohio State wide receiver, #1 in the portal, who's a redshirt sophomore, who's a 98 overall. What are you doing, Ohio State? You just let 2 amazing receivers walk out the door. He's going to Notre Dame, and Kasim Dickens is going to be the next player in this video. An elite development, 98 overall receiver, who looks to be insanely good as well. Now he's got a lot to live up to the last guy in Hyman to see if he could even hit those heights. For him, we'll say that I don't know if that's exactly going to happen because he didn't make the playoffs, and instead they go 8-4, take on Tennessee in the Las Vegas Bowl. So, you know, maybe not going to go for 2,200 yards to break a record or go for 24 touchdowns, but we'll see if he is going to have a similar level of, you know, at least fun factor to him or make some crazy plays, as it's a tight 24-24 game between these two schools. And Tennessee in the red zone. They're inside the 10-yard line, running the football. A nice spin to get him 5 yards and a 3rd and 1 up the middle, the cut, and he's falling forward for a touchdown. Tennessee takes the lead, and Notre Dame takes over with 7 minutes to play as their quarterback chucking it down the field. Wide open, he's caught it and almost goes all the way, but he's brought down at the 19. If he would have just been able to outrun that one guy, it would have been a tie game, but can they still tie it at the 11 as they'll throw for a first down underneath. Running back just got free on that play too. Not quite for like the 50-yard gain that they got last play, but Notre Dame's quarterback, he's trying to break a tackle, and get into the end zone. He broke off one, not able to get past the others. 3rd down and goal from the 1. Touchdown on the ground. Notre Dame ties it up, and we got a 31-31 game here. Tennessee's offense is going to get started with a 17-yard play as they'll drop on 1st down. Play action over the middle. Short pass, and it's going to get them a impressive gain to the 1st down mark. If you see his stats at the bottom right, this receiver's got 12 catches for 200 yards for Tennessee. They have been getting obliterated by this dude. I don't know who he is, but he is spectacular, and Notre Dame has had no answers. Throwing some more, and another completion, another 9 yards as Tennessee down to the 27 with under 3 to go. Read option is not gonna quite get their 3rd and inches. That'll be an easy sneak for the 1st. 23-yard line, 2-minute warning has hit as they'll set up the screen. Running back, that was just a bad throw in the screen. He missed them. 3rd and 9, and they'll throw for a 1st down. And Tennessee, can they be stopped as they'll run through a defender? Only 2 yards, but love to see a defender just getting put on his back like that from a truck as a tight end's going to get them 5. 3rd and 3 from the 4. Pass short of the line, and all that for a 4th and 1 at the 1 where they kick a field goal. Man, they have a drive like that and not get a touchdown. That's frustrating. And now Notre Dame, no timeouts, under a minute to play, and that pass on the run, and he got by everybody to get them into field goal range. We could be seeing overtime. As can they now go for the touchdown as they are going to reach for that 1st down. That's huge. Getting the 1st stop in the clock a little bit, but they're actually going to run the football here, and that's going to signal to me at least that they are pretty content going to overtime here. Is with 12 seconds to play. They'll run back to the line, take their time, spike the ball, and we'll be sending the field goal unit out there, and Notre Dame is going to put it through, and it's 34-34 in overtime. Notre Dame starts things off with the run as they are going to not do what USC did and immediately fumble the football away. Instead, they'll get 15 yards and a play where the quarterback is looking, running, sliding for 4, and a 2nd and goal now as he's at the 6, stepping up. And time is just everywhere. He could run the football, honestly, if he wanted to. Instead, he'll throw it to the running back for a touchdown. I think he really could have made that easier, just scrambled in as Tennessee. Now they have to respond with a touchdown of their own, and they'll start with the 7-yard reception. 3rd down and 2 after a 1-yard run. Quick pass on the RPO! Touchdown! And he got free enough space to get it in. And it'll be 41-41 now. Tennessee's turn to go first as they'll throw. First play, a 2nd overtime's an interception! And he forced that one. And now Notre Dame's in a sudden death win it right here with any points. 25-yard line. They'll go with a fake toss. Quarterback gonna move right. He'll get sacked and fumble, and they pick it up. Quarterback better thank him if they win this one. Tennessee's opportunity to get it to a 2-point shootout, that was it. And I think that was their chance, and they failed. And now Notre Dame, touchdown. Yeah, that was their chance, and it wasn't gonna be enough to get a 2nd chance to force a turnover in overtime. 47-41, an exciting game. Kasim Dickens really didn't do much in the game. It was number 80 and number 89, but not number 87. Dickens was a 98 overall. He had 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns. A nice season, but obviously nowhere near the heights of the last guy. But he did put up his best performances against the biggest teams. 3 ranked opponents, 3 100-yard games. He's going to go to the NFL draft. I mean, 1,000 yards isn't good enough to go and get you a 1st-round draft pick as a 98 overall. And the hilarious thing is, what is going on in Ohio State? Another 5-star wide receiver transferring, and he's a 99 overall after development. Ohio State, what are you doing? You're supposed to be UNLSU. You're supposed to be at wide receiver university, but you can't be wide receiver U if you let them all go. I mean, no more Garrett Wilsons and you know, Emeka Ibukas or anything. No more of these guys. They're all gone. They're all going to different schools. They're not wide receiver U anymore, because I don't see no LSU receivers up here. Because what are you guys doing? How do you let 3 special players walk out the door? And while I'm talking about what Ohio State's doing, Oklahoma's got a pick 6 in a playoff game against Texas. It's 14-13. We'll see what our guy Stokely can do, though, moving over from Ohio State. Will it be a success story for him. We're 2 for 2 on 1,000-yard wide receivers coming over, as it's going to be first down play action. They'll swing it out to the running back, and he will have 4 yards on the play from the 40-yard line. 7 minutes to go as they'll find a receiver open in the middle of the field and get the first down. As they are in field goal range, could very well take the lead here with a touchdown if they're running it like that. 14 carries, 87 yards for the back, and they'll keep it on the ground with the lineman out in front. He gets all the way to the end zone, and the running back goes down at the 1. Love the downfield blocking, as the pop pass is not going to be nearly as successful from the 4, as they'll run it again, and he's not going to get far. He's at 100 yards, and it'll end up having to be a field goal settled for, but a yard shy of the end zone, and he didn't just run it right up the middle with that offensive line. With the way they're running the football, you go with a little pop pass, seemed a little unnecessary. 16-14 though, got the lead regardless, and you know, things get amplified when you're playing a Texas-Oklahoma game, but it's not just any game, it's a playoff game, as a completion for the first down is going to move them to the 41-yard line with under 2 minutes to play, and they're going to be right at the first down marker, and they'll give it to him again at 1:40 to play. 48-yard line, a completion for a gain of 6. 43-yard line, so you're looking at 5 to 10 yards depending on your kicker's range, but I guess we can ignore that. Interception! Texas's defense is going to give this running attack a chance to get a first down. 2 straight plays, they lose a yard on those 2, and now a 3rd down, a big pass play. You can go down and end it, but he's gonna take it all the way. Touchdown, Texas, and that will end it. Texas wins 23-14 and moves on, where Kazim Stokely goes for 30 yards on 3 catches. So a little buried in the production as we go to LSU. Now at number 3 in the country, it's 10-10. We'll see who can come out on top here. As at the start of the 4th quarter, LSU has the football. 2nd down and 11, backed up at their own 19, and they'll throw down the middle for a first down. You know, I was insulting Ohio State a little bit, and you know, here maybe is wide receiver U, as wide receivers for LSU are doing their thing, and the tight end is as well. 3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they'll go play action over the middle again. And number 84, that's like 3 straight catches for him, and a first down. 35-yard line down the middle of the field, and well, look who it is. Number 84 for this LSU offense. He's racking up everything. 4 catches on the drive, and an interception. Now Texas's defense. Well, you threw to someone not number 84. So I guess that's what you get, because he was, I guess, destined to finish that drive off. And if it was him, it was nobody. Texas takes over with 6:20 to play, and they'll throw down the middle, breaking off the tackle. Running back, I mean, it feels like he's been the best player for this team. None of these receivers, as they'll run it to the outside, and here he goes, making a move and getting 6 more as they'll send him in motion. 2nd down and 4. Quick pass over the middle for a first down, just sitting underneath the defense, and they'll have it to the 35-yard line, and they'll send a man off the edge, and they'll go right side. And well, at Texas, they got a guy number 84 who can make some plays as well, as Texas at midfield, and they're moving this ball pretty well, slowly but surely, and they're all the way to the 43-yard line, over the middle, and he can't hang on. That would have been just enough for field goal range. They worked themselves all the way down there, slowly but surely, like I said, and right at the moment where they could have gotten to scoring range, they couldn't hang on to the football. So now LSU has got to play right up the sidelines, and that's a fumble. And LSU keeps possession at the 40, and now they'll find a man left side, and they are in the red zone. LSU, they threw a pick last time down here, but will it be this time a touchdown from the 4? They go to the running back on the dump off. He's at the goal line, and they say he got in. Touchdown, LSU. And now a minute 20 to go. And Texas, I don't think you can afford to run the football much more. They lose 2 on that play. Short pass on 2nd down. Sets up 3rd and 5 from the 20 as they'll throw to an open man, and he'll get out of bounds. That's huge. 33-yard line, 48 seconds to play, and they'll throw. It's just not, like, these are not good plays. You get nothing on the play, and you get tackled in bounds, and then you throw into coverage. Almost picked. 4th and 11, game on the line. You are going to throw underneath again. Who is this quarterback? Stop throwing the ball at the line of scrimmage. They lose the game. And LSU wins it 17-10. Stokely goes for 35 yards. And, you know, for a 99 overall receiver, maybe this one shouldn't have transferred. He was doing pretty good at Ohio State. He goes to Texas and has 0 100-yard games, has 500 yards as a whole. I mean, not everybody can be Hyman. Not everyone could be a 2,000-yard receiver. So, you know, I guess we got to see the good, the intermediate, and the bad as we get another wide receiver here. But here's the thing what we're going to do here. Isaiah Hagan, he went to Tennessee from Tennessee. He does not count. That does not count. We're not going with him. Cal LaBelle is the player we're going with because he actually changed team. But we're not going with a dude who left Tennessee just to go back to Tennessee. He didn't move teams. He didn't transfer anywhere. So I feel like that's fair. That doesn't count. He didn't move teams. So Cal LaBelle is going to be going to Missouri. But yeah, like I said, I mean, we got to see 3 Ohio State receivers transfer, all of them 98, 99 overall. One was a 2,000-yard receiver, one was a 1,000-yard receiver, and one was a 500-yard receiver. So bowl game for Cal LaBelle, not much to really talk about here. He did get an interception in the bowl game, and after being a 3-year player at Michigan, a 1-year player at Missouri, to get 3 interceptions, go in the 2nd round, so he's our first non-first round player, and his career's over just like that. Patrick Clausen up next from Tennessee. He's going to Clemson, 5 stars. He is a right tackle, and he's pretty dang good. How about maxed out run blocking, maxed out power? He looks to be an absolute monster, and they are in the playoffs. 11-2, going to be taking on USC. And in the playoffs, it's actually going to be a little bit of domination here as Clemson wins it 45-28. So our guy Clausen's going to be moving on to take on Oklahoma in the 2nd round. And, you know, there's, it's, you know, typical with, like, offensive linemen. I don't know how much there really is going to be to, like, show with it, but I still want to give you guys the full experience here. But, you know, I know watching offensive linemen may not be the most entertaining thing in the world, but I don't want to shortchange them too much. So we'll see what he's got. 17-14, you'll see him out there. He's got a star under him, and he was right tackle, I believe. So sometimes they, you know, the depth charts, when you auto-do them, they, like, flip the players, and I hate when they do that. I don't know why this has been a problem in, like, Madden and college football forever when you auto-do depth charts and the CPU does depth charts. They'll just, for some reason, love playing their right tackle at left tackle and their right guard at left guard, and they'll just love flipping them for literally no reason. And I understand, like, maybe it doesn't matter that much, but it's just, like, a logistical thing. Like, if he's a right tackle, let him play right tackle. Why is my right playing left and my left's playing right? I don't get it. Sometimes that just happens, though. So, I mean, I guess that'll be a thing that we got to deal with these offensive linemen. But Clemson doing their thing on offense. 17-14 the score, and they're driving play action. And he'll throw underneath to an open man. Yard shy, maybe even half a yard shy, as they'll have goal to go. Toss it out, and I don't love that call on 1st and goal. And now they'll have to be backed up to the 3, back up 2 more yards to the 5. 3rd and goal. You really sold this one, except they left him wide open for a touchdown. I don't know what Oklahoma's defense was doing on that play, as now they are down by 10 with 3:40 to play. And can we get a little offensive lineman championship victory, as they'll be on 4th down. Oklahoma gonna have to go for it here, as they maybe could have this be their last opportunity. And an interception by Clemson is going to be returned. A good return. Not only a good one, a great one. Touchdown to seal the game. And Clemson's moving on to the semifinals. So we get another little Clemson ring, as they are going to win it by 17. Semifinals matchup, they're taking on Miami. And this one, it's not going so well for them. 20-6 your score, as Miami comfortably on top of Clemson has the football and doing their thing on the ground, running it for another 1st down. He's got 2 carries, 31 yards. Maybe you should give him the ball a little bit more, as they'll throw a slant route. 1st down, caught, as quarterback has 65 yards and a pick on the day. So, yeah, really, maybe you should be running the football a little bit more, but that's a nice completion for a 1st down and a big play, and that's going to be like a 1/3 of his passing yards just on those last 2 plays, as they'll throw to the outside. Gotta catch and run. It takes it all the way for a touchdown, and Clemson's right back in it. 20-13 with 8 minutes to play, and Miami's running attack. That's a nice run that opened up, going from your own 16-yard line to your own 34. So the field position battle for Miami looking really good, and now you're starting to think about putting up some points to make it a 2-score game. You're into Clemson territory with ease, and now in field goal range. 2nd down, taking the shot down the middle. If it had a little more loft on it, you might have been looking at a touchdown. Instead, Clemson's defense had a chance on 3rd down, but the quarterback keeper gets the 1st. 2nd down now as we move ahead to the 31-yard line. 5 minutes to play. Running back running through a defender for a yard. got 21 carries, 84 yards on the day, and the third down pass, incomplete, but still, Miami, field goal, it is no good! That is massive! He missed the field goal! And now Clemson has a chance to tie this game up, and they got plenty of time to do so. 3rd and inches, sneak first down. I mean, it is ridiculous how every time it's 3rd and 1, basically, it's just a sneak. And it's funny how it's just happened, like, overnight. Like, one day, they never snuck the ball, and then, like, one update happens, and they sneak the ball every play. Which, you know, it makes sense, but it's funny how that happens. Is Clemson not able to get a 3rd down conversion when they aren't sneaking the football, and Miami taking it back, and what a completion, as now Clemson back in trouble, needing a stop, timeouts being used, as at the 49, running up the middle, and that is another first. Clemson out of timeouts, and they are going to go down and lose to Miami, and that will end things for Clausen. He ends up allowing 8 sacks. I mean, better than his time at Tennessee, where he allowed 9 and 13 sacks, but 97 overall by the end of his career. He's going to be going in the first round of the draft, and they also had a 99 guard and a 96 tackle on the other side. That's ridiculous. We'll stick with Clemson for a moment. John Brommel, a 5-star wide receiver, moves from Clemson to the team that just beat him, Miami. So a little Kevin Durant action here. He just got beat by this team in the playoffs and the semifinals. Well, let's join them. Miami now. Let's go to the playoffs here, and they are in it. 7 seed taking on Florida, and Florida being handled very comfortably right now, other than the fact that we immediately start with a big run. And I was talking about, hey, 24-9, comfortable lead right now, but a big run to set them up inside the 5 is going to give them a chance to cut this down to a 1-score game, as they'll hand it off once more, and he will get a 2-yard gain now at the 3rd and goal mark, as the run to the outside, touchdown. Nice job to get it into the end zone, take the extra point, and they'll save the 2-point conversion attempt that they may have to get until the next time they score, if they do score. As Miami, they got a nice receiver, John Brommel, who is another one of those insanely good 5-star players. I guess what this video has told us in the first part of it already, hey, there's some crazy good wide receivers in the transfer portal every single year, as the quarterback for Miami scrambling for a big run to the 41-yard line, as they're going to sweep it out. And I think they just handed it to their wide receiver, and he didn't get anything on that play. Now read option, 3rd down and 14, and not going to get 4, just 3. It's going to knock him out of field goal range, though, as that 4-yard loss to start their, downs, I think, was ultimately what costed them that. Now it's still a 1-score game, and Florida, their running back, their run game might be the thing that can get them back into this and give them a chance to win it, because look at the running back go. Another broken tackle, another 1st down run. You got 4 minutes, you can still keep on running. Now a pop pass, and he's going to get 7 on the play. 2nd and 3.5 minutes to go. He'll throw middle, and it's caught. And this Florida offense is looking so good ever since this 4th quarter has started, as they'll throw one again, and a broken tackle inside the 10. Goal to go, and will this Florida offense be able to tie this up? Run game to the 1-yard line, 2-minute warning, up the middle. He's stopped at the 1 again. Can they get it in? And Miami's defense shooting the gap. It's 4th and goal, and they're going to have it with time, throwing, end zone, touchdown, Florida. Finally, they find their way back in. The 2-point conversion for the tie. Pass is knocked away, and all of that, and they're still losing, but they get the onside kick. What is happening, Florida? It might just be meant to be. Florida with a minute to go, 47-yard line. We actually seen somebody recover an onside kick. Do you know how crazy that is? They go with the run up the middle for a 2-yard gain. It's 4th down. They can't try it from 57. They're throwing it deep. They want the touchdown here, and it's incomplete. And even though they recover an onside kick, they lose the game. Brommel goes for 84 yards and a touchdown on the day, so a nice performance. But now, hey, look what we got here, a matchup against Clemson. So Brommel had went to Clemson, lost to Miami, then jumps to Miami, and now he's taken on his former team, Clemson. As can he get the job done? Can he actually make the transfer worthwhile, or will he end up just losing to both teams? As Clemson, end zone, touchdown! And that was sudden, and it's suddenly a 2-score game, and Brommel and the offense got to do something here. 8 minutes to play, it's 2nd and 15, the play action, as that's a lot of time in the pocket. No one's really open. They'll just swing it out on a check down. He'll get 5, but it's 3rd down and 10. As he will have time again. Gotta find a receiver, and he does, but it's short of the line. 4th and 1, and they'll punt the football away. And Clemson's got it with a 2-score lead and 6 to go. Things are looking all up for Clemson, especially with the 1st down run. As they'll have it, another run on the ground. They'll go for a solid pickup, and this might be really embarrassing. I mean, there's no shame in losing to the number 2 team, but it's the circumstances in which it happens. Miami's offense got the football back. You need to come up with something big here, and here is Brommel. That's a big play. It's on you to make this happen. As it's 4:27 to go, pass is caught, and inside the 10, trying to cut it to that 1-score lead. 4 minutes, screen, and he's breaking a tackle, gets the block, 71, just flattens somebody, and a touchdown to make it a 6-point game. Clemson has the ball back with 4 to play, and an interception! Oh no, you threw a pick immediately! What are you doing? Miami might have just been handed their chance to win this game, as they take over at the 27. As the pass, he sheds out of a sack, gets the completion, Brommel, 1st down. What a play from the quarterback in Brommel's 1st down. Got the completion over the middle now, down to the 1. Miami for the lead. It's got it. Touchdown, Miami. And it's 27-28. Clemson, first play of the drive again, and it's intercepted again. What are you doing? He threw 2 picks and 2 straight passes, and they're coming back off the field. Maybe that's why Brommel transferred. The quarterback play stinks. Now Miami has a chance to extend this lead, take some time off the clock, as they have to start having Clemson burn their timeouts. A 1st down there. Clemson burns 1 at the 18-yard line. Run play. Clemson burns 2, and they burn 3 on 3rd and 6 now, as they'll throw for the end zone. It's incomplete. And all of that, and you're going to go away with the field goal, which means despite everything, Clemson can still win this game. Right now, first play of the drive, he does not throw a pick. He actually throws a 1st down, so there's progress being made. As it's going to throw now on the left side of the field. Big completion. As now at the 42 with 1:20 to go. How about throwing 2 interceptions on 2 straight first play of the drives, and then having the opportunity to go and undo those mistakes with a game-winning drive, as he's going to complete a 21-yarder halfway there after that big play. And now from the 21, they go to the 10. 55 seconds to go. He's stepping up. He's moving. He's evading. He's sliding to the 4. 3rd and goal. Quick pass. It's caught. Touchdown. Clemson has taken the lead with 29 seconds to play, and Miami has just 2 timeouts, and Brommel with a short completion to him. 25 seconds to play. 3rd and 2. They run the football, and a nice run. And they weren't expecting that. They'll take 17, but there's just 7 seconds to play. I don't know if you have enough time. Completion to the outside. And now there's just 3 seconds to go. He's stepping, hitting as he is being thrown, and it is picked off. And, well, for our guy Brommel at Miami, even though he had a really successful season, it's actually not going to be Kevin Durant. It's going to be more Anderson Varejao, as he goes for 93 yards. And he had a really nice season, a really nice year at Clemson, but really stepped it up at Miami. And unfortunately, he loses to Clemson. He had a massive game against Florida State, too, about 237 yards receiving. That's great. But, hey, he lost to Clemson. He lost to Clemson twice, actually. He lost to them in the regular season as well, I'm pretty sure. So, how about going in the 1st round? Still, he was really good. Like, no hate there. But, hey, how about we stick with Miami? Orlando Wolf. How about a guy named Orlando from Florida going from Florida State to Miami? So, Yeah, that makes sense. Orlando Wolf is going to be here for the U, getting back to the playoffs, and this time Brahma leaves. They go 13-0, and Orlando Wolf actually makes an NCAA All-American team, and he is looking great. And well, what do you know? We got a little like trilogy on our hands. The Miami-Clemson feud is back at it, and this time Miami is up 21-3 on this Clemson team, and Wolf and the defense have been doing their thing as Clemson stepping up, throwing to the outside, inside the 20. We're going to keep it with them just in case they want to pull off this comeback. 6:30 to play as in the red zone. They're throwing it to the end zone. Incomplete. 4th down and 7. Not taking the field goal to cut it to a 2-score game. They want the touchdown, and they got it. That little guy just caught it right over him. And it's going to be a 21-10 game as Miami taking over with the completion for a 1st down catch and run. 5 minutes to play. So time is running out for this Clemson team, especially if you're letting Miami move the football to midfield. 3rd down and 2. Need to get off the field here. Handing it off. And he will. And not only that, you take away the opportunity for them to maybe go for it if it was 4th and 1. Instead, 4th and 4, they punt it. And Clemson right down the middle for a big completion. And maybe a comeback is on as Clemson sheds the tackle, sheds 2, and he's going to get the 1st down. What a run as they're in field goal range. A field goal can be taken here because it will still cut it to a 1-score game as they'll get the completion all the way to the 11. That's a 24-yard gain. But now at this point, you'd really like the touchdown first as they'll go underneath. If that pass were a little bit more out in front, you maybe had a chance. Instead, you'll be down at the 3-yard line. 3rd down and 2 as the running back, he didn't throw it to him. Instead, he'll go the other way. Touchdown. It's 21-18, and look at Clemson go. They are coming back, and could it be Clemson doing it again? But Miami, look at the big run. Miami gonna put it in Clemson territory. They're out of timeouts. 1 1st down, can do it, and that's gonna go a long way to helping them. 3rd down and 3, handing it off. Will it be? It is short, and they give him the 1st. What? They gave him that 1st down. He did not get that. At no point did he get that. I am so confident he did not get that 1st down, but they gave it to him and they didn't even review it. What in the world? I'm not saying Clemson would have won the game because you still would have had them hit a field goal potentially. You would have had to go down the field and score a touchdown, but you would have at least had a chance. And now, with the chance to make a comeback against Miami again, it's not Clemson this time, it's Georgia, as it's 23-10 in the semifinals. And Georgia down by 13, but with the ball at midfield, they'll throw outside, and it's intercepted by the Hurricanes, and they'll take it back as Miami can really put this one out of reach on this drive. If they take a minute or 2 off the clock, put it in the end zone. Instead, they'll get sacked here. 2nd down and 14 turns to 3rd and 14 as they'll throw it. And they'll go down the field, and that was dangerous ball, gonna be incomplete, and Georgia will take over with 6 to go. Still, though, you got a long way to go if you're Georgia. You gotta go the length of the field to score this touchdown. We'll sneak it ahead for a 1st down here at the 24. With 5:20 to go, you gotta get some urgency going here as they'll shed a tackle on the dump off. Make it 2, and he'll get a nice pickup and a 1st down to the 39-yard line. 4.5 to play. They're still running the football, which I don't love. I mean, you can mix it up, but these runs aren't getting you much as they'll throw a screen now. And speaking of not getting much, it's 4th and 8. And this is really the situation when it's going to be a game over called by Miami's defense. And they get a return to the 18. Not only do you turn it over on downs, you throw a pick in Miami, shedding a sack, firing to the end zone. What a play! And Miami is going to a national championship appearance. And they are going to win it 31-17 as Georgia does put it in the end zone a little bit later, but it's not going to really matter. Orlando Wolf gets a pass deflection. It's been pretty solid throughout these playoff games, just 1 pass deflection or 2 sometimes. But how about a little Florida matchup here? Miami versus Florida, and it's 15-0 versus 13-2. And can the Hurricanes finish off their job and get a 2nd national championship on the board for one of our players in these videos, as right now they're down 20-14, but can they pull this off as the read option is going to get him a 1st down? A lot more. Look at the quarterback running for 20 on the play, and he'll have it with 8 to go, and a slant route over the middle. First down again, as it's 2nd and 8 underneath. He's got it, 1 man to beat, and he spins up, and a touchdown. Great play to beat him out in the open field, get the score, and take the 1-point lead as Florida now takes it back over. A great play to start your drive, and now they'll go with the ground game as this Florida team. I mean, we've ran into them before. Their run game was pretty nice. They had that crazy game with the onside kick and everything like that, but they weren't able to get the job done. Can they get it done this time around? They've been a perennial contender, as now play action bootleg, and he throws a pick in the flats. It's jumped, and the linebacker is brought down by the interception throwing quarterback, who now has to watch his defense in a tough spot try to defend this team from getting into the end zone to make it an 8-point game, as Miami will go 3 and out, but still, you go from a 1-point deficit to a 4-point deficit. That's massive, and you lose some time, and you get backed up all the way to your own 10-yard line, and make it even more further back, a 3-yard loss. You're at your own 7-yard line, as they'll throw way short of the line, and now 4th and 12 at the 11, you punt the football, and immediately for Miami, they can just play it safe, and they're right back into field goal range. It would still be a 1-score game, but I mean, you've gone from 1 point to 4 points. Now it could be 7 points. It's just getting more and more difficult. You're losing your timeouts, and Miami's running for a first down. This game, 1 first down away from ending. He's running ahead to a 3rd and 3. Can they stop him? Give themselves one try, and they will. It'll be 4th and 6. They will kick the field goal, but Florida only has about 30 seconds to play. So you get them the ball back. They got to go 84 yards, and they start with the completion, but it's shy of the line. They hurry it back up. They're down to 15 seconds to play, and they complete the pass with 1 second to go now after the spike. They'll throw it down the field, and incomplete. Miami is going to win the national championship. And part of me does feel a little bad for Brommel, who left, and they immediately go undefeated all the way to a championship. This Miami team was waiting to just win that title, get over the hump, and unfortunately it was 1 year after Brommel left. But still, Randall Wolf, pretty good, pretty nice career too. Like, not a lot of interceptions or anything like that, but 10 pass breakups, a 96 overall player, 1st round draft pick, a bunch of 1st rounders for this Miami team. And we move on to the next, who is actually going to be a quarterback. Sam Toomer is going to be going to Clemson. So Clemson's been pretty prevalent in this video. A Clemson quarterback now. We've had wide receiver, we've had quarterback. This guy's moving over from Alabama. We've also had tackle. So we're just kind of ticking off all the positions. And Clemson once again in the playoffs. And we'll see if they are going to have themselves some success here, as 20-17. There's always going to be, you know, in these types of videos, like one team that's just way more prevalent than others, and I guess we're just a Clemson video today. Is look at Toomer. He's got a big run on the read option. He's not the fastest player. It's eventually going to get tracked down, but what a big run on the read option. No one was expecting that one, I suppose, as they'll go and get another completion for 20 plus on the play. Goal to go for the 2-score lead. Run, end zone, and the touchdown for Clemson, as now Penn State will take over, but they're down by 10 with 8 minutes to play. A nice completion there is going to get them a first down, but now they're going to roll, run, scrambling for the first down, making a move and getting out of bounds, keeping yourself nice and safe, and now they're going to go read option the other way. This time around, not so successful, losing a yard. It'll be 3rd and long as he'll step up in the pocket, float one down the field, intercepted. Clemson's defense coming up with the big play. Lot of success for Clemson too. It's not even like these have been like one and done teams. A national championship team, a semifinals team, now very much on the verge of winning a 1st round matchup, as they are going to step up, and Toomer finds an open man, and he's playing pretty dang well right now, as he is just reading the defense, making his plays, 300 plus yards through the air. Got that big, like 50-yard run, looking for the 3-score lead. Got it inside the 10, down to the 4. He's over 100 yards receiving. They'll get backed up a little bit, and well, now backed up a lot after another loss of 4 on the run. 3rd down and goal. They're all the way back at the 13-yard line, but they'll eventually find the end zone. And Toomer has a awesome game and Penn State does end up putting up a score very late in the game, but it's going to be 34-24. He throws for 340, 3 touchdowns, and a great day. He's up to a 98 overall with the in-season progression and everything like that, and, well, what do you know? This is a match that we haven't seen before. It's Clemson and Miami. What do you know? It's Miami running ahead for a touchdown. These two teams have been battling it out every single year. How do they keep matching up against each other? It just keeps happening as they're going to have a 10-point lead. So this time it's going to be Clemson down double digits on the scoreboard. And Toomer, what do you got for us as he's going to complete a pass for a first down past midfield, 45-yard line. And they'll throw down the middle and just right into a defender's hands. Starting to look a little bit like how things were last game for Penn State. And now Clemson on the other side of that. They throw a pick and now a chance to go down by 3 scores. If Miami puts it in the end zone, they'll scramble for a first down. But you go down by 3 scores, you're probably all over, as there's only going to be about 5 minutes to go when you touch this football again. 5:20 to play now, and it could be even less time before you touch this football. It could be 4 minutes to go, 3 minutes as Miami completes a pass, gets it to a 7-yard gain. A 2nd and 3, they're in the red zone, running the football, running through a defender. It's 3rd and inches, and you know what they're doing here, sneaking it, and they don't get it. And they're going to just kick the field goal. It's going to be 27-14 instead. Still think there's very much a chance here if you go and score within the next minute. But, I mean, you'd have to go about 80 yards to do it. 3rd down and 4. Down the field and incomplete. A contested ball. 4th down and 4. You're going for it. All the way backed up. You got to. And they're throwing it deep. 1-on-1. It's caught. And he gets out of bounds. That's an impressive play, and I really don't think you should be running it here because now you're down to 3rd and 12. You lose yards. Clock is running. Pass up in the air. Not another contested play. 4th and 12. Gotta go for it from the 34 as he'll throw it deep once again. It's caught! Touchdown! I said you gotta score in the next minute to have a real chance, and they did just that. They kept all their timeouts. Now Miami 2nd and 10 is gonna scramble, sliding, timeout, 3rd down and 4. Miami, can they get the first to try to seal this game? They're scrambling. He's caught it. And Miami 2nd down, another run, another first, and that will do it. Toomer goes for 266 and 2 touchdowns, but a loss on the game. 48 touchdowns, 6 picks. Also, went from UAB to Ole Miss to Alabama to Clemson. Just went all over the place and got better and better throughout the years and went to better and better schools, seemingly, at least for like this simulation, regardless if you think Clemson, they're not doing too hot in real life, but in the sim, they're doing amazing. 1st round draft pick for them, as now we go to Matthew Lucian, another quarterback, another 1-year quarterback, and another trend that very much follows real life. How about a Washington State quarterback saying, you know what, we're pretty good here at Washington State, but we're just going to go and be better somewhere else, maybe. You got Cam Ward, you got John Mateer. Lucian, though, no playoffs for him, and actually it's going to be a game against Baylor, Texas Bowl. Oddly, it feels like every team that doesn't make the playoffs just happens to go exactly 8-4, but a big touchdown for LSU. This was really just a pretty dominant game. But there was some big offensive plays. You seen that big run. You toss one out here for Baylor, a 4th and 1 from their own 27, and he's going to take it all the way to make it a 33-14 game. And then on the other end, LSU takes over the football, and then they're going to go and find a big-time play over the middle that Baylor actually picks off, and up by 3 scores. The closest Baylor is going to get in this one is going to be a touchdown here. With about 4 minutes to play. It didn't really result in much, though, as LSU then finds themselves able to run out the clock. This wasn't like a crazy game. It was literally just either a big play or nothing, and there just wasn't really much to show other than those couple of plays. But Lucian, 3 years at Washington State, was pretty all right, pretty good at even, I'd say. And then at LSU, he was okay. I mean, step up in competition, but didn't really kind of level up LSU into like these high level of, you know, like playoff contention or SEC title contention or anything like that. He still does go in round 1. We got a wide receiver now. Been pretty high on the wide receivers. We've got a lot of them. This one's going to Missouri. So Missouri has had 2 players. They had that safety earlier and now a wide receiver who, you know, like all the other ones are going to be really good. But oddly enough, this is going to be the first time where No bowl game, no nothing. Missouri went 5-7 on the season, and despite having a 97 overall wide receiver, they go 5-7, 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. So there's like legitimately like that's just it. Guess not every player is going to be a big home run hitter, but you know, having one season coming over underwhelming, not making a bowl game, still going to be a first round pick because he's a 97 overall player. So it's like, guess it's not really a bad thing for him. But we move on to the next player already, and it's going to be a quarterback, Morgan O'Kine from Penn State. And it's going to be Penn State actually having the 2 top transfer portal players, so they lost both of their top guys. But Morgan over here is going to be going to Tennessee, and we'll be headed to the playoffs, and they're going to be taking on Notre Dame. 10-2 versus 10-2. We got a 26-24 game, so now we got to finally see some, you know, proper playoff action after 2 years of kind of taking it off with Lucien and then the other receiver. But now we're back here and seeing if one of these guys can go and win themselves a national championship, have that storybook ending, win a Heisman Trophy. Obviously, O'Kine didn't win a Heisman, but we've got 2 national championships and a Heisman on the board so far, and a couple of guys who have had some real good success in the playoffs and had some really good one-off seasons. Will it be another guy to add to that list, or will he just fall apart as he's got the 2-point lead, throwing it down the field, dangerous, but 3rd and 20, went for the conversion, he did not get it. Notre Dame takes the football. Keeper, he had a little bit of a slow start, don't know what his acceleration is, can't be that good though. It's gonna be 2nd and 5 as with 6.5 to go, he throws a pick! And that was to a D lineman. I don't even think he was trying to catch that or something there, but that's a pick that just fell into his hands, I suppose. And Tennessee gets handed potential points on this drive, as you got to be really bad to mess this one up, as you are going to get to 4th and 1. They'll just take the field goal, but man, Notre Dame just handed him a free 3. Now it's a 5-point game, and Notre Dame will have the ball with 4.5 to play as they'll throw over the middle, and there's a flag down, and they're going to say the defender got there a little too early on contact. It's going to be pass interference. They're going to hand Notre Dame a 1st down, but clock is still ticking down. 3.5 to play. 3rd and 5, finding a completion. Big hit, and he'll get down to the 47. As they're going to go with an RPO slant route wide open, and he'll have another nice gain. So now they're really moving the football into enemy territory. Down the field, it's caught, and you're at the 15. 2 minutes to play, and the read option. Touchdown for the lead, and he's getting close. 3rd and inches from the 5. Handing it off, and he's mad. No 1st down. 4th and 1. Can they convert? Quick pass, and they do. Touchdown. Now you got to go to see if Tennessee can make something happen here. Down by 2 with a minute to play, needing field goal range, as they're going to get a 9-yard run to start their drive. And then how about another nice run? That's 8 more yards. 3rd down and 9, though, we jump ahead, and they'll throw over the middle, completed, and how about 14 more? 40 seconds to play, 15 yards away from field goal range, and a great ball! 19 on the play, and that is field goal range. Now just get it as close as possible, and that'll help. It's been an amazing drive, just 12 yards plus like every play in the air, as they'll throw for another one, and it's a touchdown! Tennessee did not even need to put it in the end zone like that, but that is incredible, as now Notre Dame's just got 18 seconds to play. They need a touchdown. They need to go another 60-plus yards as they'll go and get 7 on the play. They need now 57 yards in 8 seconds. Pass is intercepted. They wanted a quick ball, get down, and maybe throw a Hail Mary, but they won't even get that as Tennessee wins it. And they go 36-31, moving on to the next round, and waiting for them after a 3-touchdown performance and 280-plus yards. It's going to be Kansas State, 31-30, a high-scoring battle here, as K-State has the football on 3rd and 12 to start off this 4th quarter. Pass is going to be caught, and he breaks a tackle and falls forward, but it's 4th and inches. They punt the ball. Tennessee takes over, and it's going to be a 7-yard run for 3rd and inches. Sneaking the ball, they'll get the 1st. And now to 37-yard line, running it inside. He'll break it to the outside and get a 1st down, and he's up over 70 yards on the game. 2nd down and 8. They'll keep it on the ground, and a little hesitant there, and he's going to get nothing on the play. 3rd and 10, as they'll throw for a incomplete pass, and Kansas State will take over. So took some time on that drive, but didn't really get anything out of it, as now Kansas State isn't even going to have them pinned back in good field position for your defense, as they immediately get like a big 15-yard run. You'll make them lose 4 on that play, but now 2nd and 14. Nice job from number 44 off the edge. Loses 3. 3rd and 17. Hit as he's throwing. That's a floater up in the air, and it's picked off. Nice job on the hit to force that ball up in the air. It still wasn't a great decision, I think, regardless, but even still, now you got a 3rd and 9. You got to convert here. Your defense gave you an opportunity, and you threw it right back. Picked off. Kansas State, the defense bails out the quarterback, as now from the 47, handing it off. They'll lose yards again. Tennessee's run defense doing a great job. 3 of the last runs have been all for losses of yards, and now an incomplete pass. Tennessee has another try at it on offense. They swing a screen out to the running back, and he'll have 4. 3rd down and 7. 2:10 to play. Pass is caught for the 1st down. 11 yards. Back to the line after the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and 10, play action. He's sacked. And Kansas State has him backed up. 3rd and 18 on the play. He's going to tuck. He's going to run. And just 5 yards. 4th and 13. You got a big play in you. He's got time. A lot of time. Somebody's got to get open. And eventually somebody does. You can't give a quarterback that much time on a 4th and long, as they'll throw over the middle. That's field goal range, and Kansas State could be sending themselves home because their defense cannot get the stop. 24-yard line. You're banking on a missed field goal potentially. 3rd down and 10. You got 2 timeouts, so you should get the ball back here if you stop them, as you have the timeouts to stop the clock. But Tennessee right there, 4th and inches. That was so close. You get the 1st down. You can make it a game-expiring field goal, but instead Kansas State will get 30 seconds to try to get into field goal range with 1 timeout, and that completion for just 5 yards will make them burn that 1 timeout. 30-yard line, 24 seconds to play. A deep shot. He's got a step. He's caught it. Touchdown, Kansas State. Are you serious? A 70-yard touchdown at that moment? How do you let that happen, as a pick in the last 10 seconds is going to end it? And Kansas State pulls off the clutch victory. But if you're Tennessee, how do you let that happen? A 70-yard touchdown at the end. Morgan goes for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's not enough on the year as a whole. 4,500 yards, 43 touchdowns, 8 picks. A really nice season. The playoff victory, 8 more rushing touchdowns to add too. So he had an awesome season. But a 500-yard game against Florida too. Like that's a really good season. As we go over to Penn State now, who lost their quarterback to Tennessee. Now they're gaining an offensive lineman from Virginia Tech, as Morgan is actually going to stick around for another season. So the only players we've had really stick around are quarterbacks who are like low 90s and don't want to leave to be like a mid-round pick. They want to maybe up their stock to being like a 1st rounder, which is understandable, but those are the only players we've had stick around for multiple years. Tennessee and Penn State both get 1st round bye, so we'll be heading on to the 2nd round and seeing both of them in playoff action. We'll have Penn State though not do too hot. Their offensive linemen can only do so much when your defense allows 47 points to Auburn, but impressively, how about 1,100 snaps basically and 0 sacks allowed? That's really good for a guard. That's awesome. Let's head back to Tennessee. They're taking on Tulane. The number 12 seed actually did get the victory, and now they'll be taking on a 2-loss 1st round bye Tennessee team who lost on the heartbreaker last season, a 70-yard touchdown at the end of the game. And let's see if they can hold on to a 10-point lead that they currently have right now and not let anything crazy happen like it was last year, as they'll throw for a 1st down, trying to extend that lead a little bit more. It's been a pretty clean game from Morgan, as he's got a pass underneath for a completion and 3 yards. 3rd down and 4. Read option. He'll keep it, and he'll lose yards on the play, just losing a yard to get him a field goal try instead. Kick is good. Remains a 2-score game, 13-point deficit. Tulane now taking over with 6:40 to play, and they'll get a completion for a 1st down. He spins off a defender, and he'll get 19 on the play. as they'll go to the 37-yard line. Play action, taking a shot down the field, lofting it over the defender, and a nice play to the 20. And a huge 43-yard play, pop pass to the edge, gets close to the first, not quite. 3rd and inches from the 10. They'll sneak it, they'll get it. It's goal to go to cut this down to a 6-point game. Draw play, he'll spin off 1, get 7 yards to the 3 as they'll have it under center. Stretch to the edge, and it's great blocking, wide open path to the end zone. It's 20-14 with 4 minutes to play in Tennessee. If they're going to want to seal this game, need a couple of first downs or to just straight up outright score some points, and the run game's going to help them go a long way to getting not only the first down but into field goal range if they can get a couple more yards. And just like that, he'll run it for a nice gain to 3rd down and 3. Blitz sent in, completing the pass, and they're gonna get inside the 20, and he breaks tackles, fights his way, and they'll run the ball now as they got the field goal range, but a fumble! Are you kidding me, Tennessee? Everything was going your way, and you fumble it, and now Tulane can pull off this comeback at the very end with just under 2 minutes to go. 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. From the 40, they go pump fake, throw it in, deep, pass, double coverage, and incomplete. It's 3rd down and 4 with a minute and a half to play. Outside, it's caught, it gets hit though, and loses it. Incomplete, 4th and 4. What a hit from the Tennessee defender, and it seals the game because they get the 4th down sack. That is a great hit from, I believe, the safety. Came down and just laid it down, making him drop that football. It was awesome. So they win the game, go on to the semifinals. It's 24-14 on Nebraska, who's got the football, and right now they're at the 33-yard line. So Nebraska very much can cut this down to a 1-score game with ease as the tight end makes the catch, breaks the tackle, gets 13 and a first down. The red zone they go as a new set of downs. We'll have them going over the middle with a broken tackle, and he's fighting ahead, getting it to the 4-yard line. It takes a couple of guys to bring him down, but they'll have it inside the 5. The run to the edge, and they'll seal the edge for a score as Nebraska makes it a 3-point deficit with 8 minutes to play in Tennessee's offense. It's your turn with a big RPO. Tight end's got a lot of room. Gain of 28 on the play as they'll go handoff, running it with a nice open field tackle. Gets 6 yards. Could have been a lot more if he made a miss, though. Pass to the outside. Will get those last couple of yards. First down was just enough for it. 2nd down and 5. Bubble out. First down. Falling forward. Give him another about 10 yards on the play as they're in field goal range in the read option. Morgan is got a first. Reaches forward. Didn't really need to. He got a couple extra, though. 19-yard line. It's been a great drive as they'll go for another run of 7 yards. It's just been big chunk runs after big chunk runs. You get 7 every play. You're going to score on every drive as it's goal to go. And read option from the 6. He's in. Touchdown. And that's about as good of a drive as you're going to get. Every single run was over 5 yards, basically. Every single pass was on target. And the catch and runs was really the thing that got them over the edge and made them basically impossible to stop on that drive. As Nebraska now back down by 10. They're moving the football, but you got to stop them eventually if you're going to have a chance to win it. But if you keep on putting points up, you're going to give yourself at least another try at it. They're in field goal range, but can you get that touchdown first? The broken tackle is going to get them inside the 10. So Nebraska's offense, not an issue at all. From the 8, goal to go to the running back. He's going to just try to make a man miss. He'll still get 5, but go down at the 3. 2.5 to go. Nebraska, all their timeouts still. Got to hold on to them. Pass to the end zone. That's around about 5 people, and it was tipped and caught. Touchdown. How did he bring that one in? And Nebraska has another chance at it, but they cannot stop this Tennessee rushing attack. Nebraska burns their first timeout, and then they throw a pass. Whoa, what are you doing? Picked off. The run game was so good. Why would you throw it in? If you're gonna throw it, why would you do that? And Nebraska's immediately in the red zone. 1:30 to play. Pass is caught and he breaks a tackle. He'll get 2. 3rd and 5. A minute to play from the 9. Angle route. Touchdown. Nebraska takes the lead with under a minute to play now as Tennessee, despite how good their offense played, it's not looking like they're going to be able to get the job done unless they put it in the end zone here. They're still running the football because it's working. It's still working as the passing game now is going to get them to the 30 yards away with 35 seconds. You got one timeout. Pass over the middle. It's caught. 15 yards. 15-yard line. Pass is going to be knocked away with just no timeouts, though. You got to have a 3rd and 10 spot where you're throwing incomplete. It's 4th and 10 from the 15. He'll throw. It's caught, but it's just shy. About half a yard, if that. And it's not gonna happen despite everything that seemingly was making it go your way. Morgan can't get it done despite a big bowl game from the yard standpoint, even though we know how bad that interception was. His 2 years at Tennessee, overall a success, but a disappointing way to end it, as his 400 yards is not enough. He goes in the first round. And Penn State's offensive lineman will stick around, actually, which is cool. And we'll have another one, Rashawn Angel for Oklahoma. He'll be here. So I guess let's talk some offensive line. John Ugakwe had, 1,100 snaps last year, 0 sacks allowed for Penn State. And Rashawn Angel for Oklahoma will also be starting at tackle. When we go to the playoffs, there's not going to be really much to talk about here, but Ugakwe did go all the way to making a national All-American team in a bowl game against Miami. But fortunately for Penn State, they were number 13 in the country, just so close. You go and you win 10 games on the season, you would have been able to be into the playoffs most likely. Instead, you and Miami are down here. But even when we're not in the playoffs and we're just playing a regular bowl game, Miami is still here somehow. I don't even get it. But 31-17, Penn State is winning well right now, especially if they can get this football back. It looks like they can maybe put this game away, but we know the story about Miami, regardless of if they're a 9-win team or an undefeated team. They are one of the hardest teams to take down when we're watching them. Whatever it is, they are just absurdly difficult to beat. And they got a first down there, and they are on their way to trying to pull this within one score as that pass down the middle, untouched touchdown. And there it is. One score game for Miami. Let's get going with this offensive line, though. You got a All-American offensive lineman here at Penn State. Probably got some good rushing attacks, good running back, and going to have to give him the ball maybe. Instead, you're going to go to the air, and, well, that works too, I suppose. Their quarterback's got 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, so, yeah, that'll do. As I'm going to go with a run, but he breaks the tackle and then just falls over, which is interesting. But look at the pancakes on the offensive line. That's what I was talking about. That is an incredible job blocking from the line. Not so much on that play, but still, look at the pancakes on that previous play. That was ridiculous. 3rd down and 10, passes incomplete, and you are in field goal range, though. So from the 26, 4.5 to play. Field goal doinks off the upright and goes in. Not often we see a doink that actually goes in for a field goal. Most doinks we see are right off the post, and it just rejects you. But Miami now down by 10 points with under 4 to go. Miami run to the edge. He's got a nice block from the receiver and then a spin move to get him even more yards as they're at the 31 with 3 to go. Lineman's doing their job for Miami, and he throws it into contested coverage, incomplete, 3rd down. That pass, speaking of contested, how did he bring that in? 3 defenders were there, as now 21 yards away, and he has it all. Touchdown, Miami. Back within 3 and refusing to go away. They are down a timeout as now they're using them all here. Penn State with a first down. Make it 2. 2 first downs. Can you get one more to seal it as the run will get 5. 2nd down and 5. They get 2 yards to make it 3rd and 3. Passes incomplete. And Miami is going to have a try at it to get a field goal, but it will be 3rd and 11 early on in this drive. They get over this first hurdle. Yes, they do. And they get out of bounds as well for 17. Now we go to another 3rd down, about 3rd and 4. Passes caught but shy. 4th down and 2. A minute to go as he'll throw to the outside. It's caught and a first down. and they'll go back to the line with 48 seconds to go and another third down and a screen, and it's not gonna happen. But can they get another clutch conversion? They would need this one to get into field goal range. He's got it. How does Miami keep pulling these things off as they'll run the ball, get closer, and kick the field goal to go to overtime? And we are still playing football here. It's overtime, 34-34. Penn State is going to be on defense first, and they throw a pick. Penn State, the defense. How has this happened? I think the third time this video. First play of overtime and a turnover. I think that's the first play of overtime. 3 separate overtimes in this video has been a turnover, which is just weird. That doesn't usually happen. And one of them was a fumble as well, as now Penn State, I mean, they could just walk their way in. Touchdown and the game is over. Penn State wins it, and you know, it's better than a lot of the playoff games that we've had. I mean, it was a good one. 40-34 as we go to John Yagakwe, who ends up with actually a pretty crazy career from a statistical standpoint. You're telling me this dude played like 2,100 snaps at Penn State. I don't know how many of them are pass blocking specifically, but 2,100 snaps at Penn State and 0 sacks allowed. I mean, Rayshawn Angel, I know tackle is different, but he played about 1,000 and he allowed 5 sacks. So he wants to go to the draft, even though he would be a 6th rounder. He ends up being a 4th rounder. So, you know, I guess good on him. He got drafted in the 4th round. Yagakwe goes in the 3rd round. That's a 1st round pick to me. 0 sacks allowed. We go back to back on offensive linemen. So sure, why not? We'll have another one here. Georgia has a tackle now, and he looks pretty good. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of like crazy things to say about these linemen unless you got like a John Yagakwe doing insane things. I don't know if we're going to get a lineman better than him, but we got playoff action here. Ohio State, Georgia, it's 28, it's 21. Ohio State on top and with the football as they'll throw for a 1st down completion, as they are going to have it at the 36-yard line, go bubble screen outside, and they will have 7 more yards on the play. Their quarterback's got 4 touchdowns, no picks on the day. It's been an amazing day for him. He's over 300 yards as well from the 47, floating one for another completion. I mean, my goodness, he's looking amazing. Another completion. This one was wide open, and he's inside the 10, gain of 32 on the play. Goal to go for the 2 touchdown lead. He's in. Touchdown number 5 for Ohio State's quarterback, and Georgia quite literally has no answers for him. And this offensive line, which is allowing a sack here, has got to help see if they can pull within a score once more, as it'll be 4th and 5 with 5.5 to go. They'll go for it, as you gotta go and do something here. He'll have time. He'll just throw it deep. He's got one-on-one. It's incomplete, and Ohio State takes over. We jump ahead to a 3rd down and long situation where Ohio State, what a play, and a 6th touchdown passing. Yeah, you just ran into the wrong team at the wrong time, I feel like. It's 42-21 your final, where Ohio State's quarterback did phenomenal and had 6 touchdowns and over 400 yards. But yeah, this Caleb dude for offensive lineman, 1,000 snaps, 9 sacks allowed. Like, again, tackle's different than guard, but still, hey, that's just to put over. John Yagakwe was pretty nuts. And I think what's also funny is we had Duarte here. I think I seen Duarte was like the 2nd player in the transfer portal last year, and now he's the 1st player this year, unless it was a different guard named Duarte. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was, I don't know. He's here at Oklahoma State though, and he's going from Clemson to Oklahoma State. Clemson makes the playoffs, Oklahoma State does not, and instead they go and dominate Duke 24-7 in a pretty comfortable victory. They were the number 15th team in the country, so pretty solid for them. But he was a guard who played 1,100 snaps and 1 sack allowed, so pretty nice season from him. He'll go to the NFL. He's projected to be 2nd. He goes in the 2nd, and the offensive line streak for this video will come to an end. We go back to wide receiver. This one, a 4-star from Auburn. So this is not like the usual wide receivers that we've gotten, the ones from Ohio State, which were like underclassmen, god tier 95 overall 5-star players. This is a, you know, 5th-year senior who is going to be, you know, like a mid-90s player. So Auburn, I mean, they go 7-5, and they're in a bowl game against Troy. Like, it's not a good spot to be in, and it's not been like a particularly close game. This is kind of one of those late rally attempts from Troy, It's a 16-point game with 3 minutes to go, and Troy is going to get a pass interference here, it looks like, and that'll help them out, as this will be setting them up a 15-yard penalty to get them a first down. 2.5 to play. Obviously, you need the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. If they start burning timeouts, you're going to need an onside kick as well, as he still got the 2-minute warning, so you got really 4 timeouts here. And with the 35-yard line, got time in the pocket. He's not finding anyone open, though, and he gets sacked. So there goes your 2-minute warning, down to 3 timeouts now. As you are going to have time in the pocket again, they eventually are going to send an extra man, but all that time is not really getting them much in terms of open receivers. 4th down and 8. I mean, this is a mismatch of talent, so not surprising, but they're going to get a completion here on 4th down and 8, keep the game alive. They burn a timeout, so now you need the onside kick. 2nd and 17, pass up in the air, it's caught, touchdown. But after using a timeout, you kind of put yourself in this situation where it's onside kick or bust, as you get the 2-point conversion, and onside kick is scooped up. Auburn picks it up and will win this game. On top of the fact that this wasn't like a crazy bowl matchup and they only went 7-5. On top of that, though, wide receiver had 2 catches for 10 yards on the game, and on the season was not good. 37 catches, and hilariously, he was at Auburn, had 1,000 yards, transferred to Florida, had 1,000 yards, went back to Auburn, and then stunk. I don't know why you do that. I don't know why you'd like leave Auburn in the first place, or then, you know, go and leave Florida in the I don't know. He didn't do well, though. Evan Landry, though, the next player, it's a quarterback, and he's going to Michigan, and Michigan makes the playoffs. So Michigan's new starting quarterback looks pretty dang good, and they're looking pretty good in this first round matchup. It's 35-21 on Florida, and even though they're on the road and Florida's got the football, you're in control, as they're going to throw. Florida, first down, converts on 3rd down. Their quarterback's got 77 yards on the game right now. No touchdowns, no picks. He hasn't done much of anything, as Michigan's defense, I don't even know how they got 21 points if that's the case, but they're throwing it deep, one-on-one, tipped, and oh my goodness, if he was able to turn around and pull that one in, that would have been incredible. Instead, 4th and inches, and the option, no good. You didn't even pitch it, and you get tackled for a loss, as now Michigan takes over with the chance to go up by 3 scores, as they're going to have a first down at the 34-yard line. Running the ball up the middle, runs through a man, gets 7. Running back has 120 yards on the game, as they'll go speed option. That's more how you run it, and he'll have more yards, and he'll have another first down. 6 to go. Landry going to find an open receiver. He'll have 9. He's over 300 on the game. They'll go on the ground again, and this Michigan team is looking incredible right now, as they'll run it once more. Running through people, and he's hurdling for some reason. Toss it out at the 2-yard line. Unnecessary spin move. He'll lose 2 yards. 3rd and goal. Running the ball. Touchdown, Michigan. And that will do it. A comfortable victory for Michigan. 49. They even put up a little bit more after, but 49-21 Landry. 300 yards, 81 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, a really nice day, and they'll take on Auburn. And funnily enough, Auburn, yeah, they're 13-0, number 1 in the country, immediately after that wide receiver leaves. So yeah, it was confusing, because Auburn's been pretty good, and then they immediately go and, like, we have a receiver to spectate for them, and they go and face Troy in a bowl game, and right after, they're back to 13-0, so I guess Michigan is up, though, 14 points, and Michigan's looking like pretty dominant right now. They dominated Florida. They're pretty much dominating this Auburn team, unless Auburn can go and get a touchdown here to pull themselves back within 7. But it's been all Michigan so far, and Auburn is going to score. So maybe I spoke a little too soon, but Landry is going to have a read option here. A nice little run. He makes a guy miss, and look at Landry go. He's got 38 yards on the ground as they're going to run it. And running back, who had over 120 yards last game, is going to have 6 more here. Play action. Completion over the middle. Nice and easy. Landry's playing a phenomenal game through the air, as he'll throw down the middle. What a tight window throw. And that's a completion to goal to go. Play action. Caught for a touchdown. Look at that. Landry was spectacular on that one throw down the field, though. And Auburn back down by 14. And they're just not playing even much close games at all in this playoffs. I mean, that was like the only time late in a game or later in a game where they were even within 7 points of losing, as they're right back up by 14. Deep ball, Auburn incomplete, 4th and 12 with 4 minutes to play. And this is probably your game right here for Auburn, as they'll throw for a first down, and it's caught. He'll have it and keep it alive a little bit longer. 3:30 to play, over the middle for a first down once more. Michigan just got to place that safe defense, not allow any big plays to happen, and let your pass rushers tee off like that. 2nd and 15 after the sack, 3 minutes to go and clock running. Pass on the run, that's an impressive ball, and a first down to the 25-yard line. Auburn still with all their timeouts for now, as they'll complete another one and another first down. Gotta hold on to those timeouts if you're Auburn. 13-yard line, as they'll throw, slant route, got it, short of the marker, but 8 yards. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the 2-minute warning. Swing it outside to the running back, makes a miss, and he's short. 4th and 1, and the game on the line here. They need the touchdown to cut into a one-score game. It's got it, touchdown. And Auburn managed to keep all their timeouts. They're not going to kick the onside. They're just going to trust their defense to line up and stop them, and they get the first stop there. 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9, and he's going to get brought down. 4-yard gain. 3rd down and 5, though, to seal it, and a good throw to seal that game. Michigan moves on, and it has been awesome offense to watch, as Landry had 5 touchdowns and only 4 incompletions in that playoff game. You go out there against the #1 team in the country and you throw more touchdowns than incompletions. How impressive is that? Right now, though, it's not looking the same in the next game against Georgia. It's 21-6, but Landry has his team in position to make it a one-score game once more, as it's first down and goal from the 3-yard line. 7 minutes to play. Landry going to step up, and he'll run for another touchdown. So we are back to a one-score game, and Georgia's got the football. Can they give Landry a chance in an 8-point game to tie it up? 3rd down and 7 for Georgia. Quarterback is moving around. He's getting a little antsy in the pocket. Now he's rolling out. He's running. He's throwing down the field. Knocked away. And that was just good defense from Michigan, who gets the football back in great field position, already in Georgia territory with 5:20 to play, as Landry is sacked. And immediately I'll have to punt that right back. So back to the defense. 3-yard loss on the run. Georgia to the air. Quarterback got a quick pass and not going to get far. He'll get 5. 3rd down and 8 from the 22. He's going to fire one down the middle, and that is just a great catch to hang on to that one in between 2 defenders. And now Georgia can really start to run out this clock, and Michigan is going to eventually have to start burning those timeouts, and they are 3rd and inches now, as they are going to get hit on the sneak but get the first down. As now timeout used, they force a huge incomplete pass, and now 3rd and 10, as they're going to have another incomplete pass. So they saved 2 timeouts, and Georgia, they're going for a field goal from 59. Kick is good from 59. That is bold, and he hit it. Wow, and that is going to change everything. I was thinking from the 42, they're going to punt that ball, but now 4th down and 7, they're going to get the first down, but it might not even matter because you're down by 2 scores once again. And Michigan, I mean, if you get done in because of a 59-yard field goal, all you could do is put your hands up and say, well, it is what it is. That's just some fortunate circumstances. College kickers can't be hitting like that usually, especially in that situation. A lot of coaches wouldn't even call that, just out of fear of the miss, as Michigan's moving the football. They're getting it down to the 29. It's like you're moving it, but you're needing to lean on an onside kick regardless here, as Landry's going to go over the middle for a completion down to the 7, as they're going to go end zone, touchdown, and they are going to even get the 2-point conversion, but not the onside kick. So it's going to be a Georgia victory, and the field goal was the difference, as it was a great job from the special teams and the kicker to get the job done. As Landry, I mean, I still thought overall he was awesome and, did his thing. 5,000 yards, 42 touchdowns, 12 picks. Was pretty great. The completion percentage went down from his time at TCU, but I mean, that's a really productive season, and he had some really nice performances. He shredded Maryland, did amazing against Washington, thought he was awesome in the playoff game where he had 5 touchdowns. And the next player up, we got Isaiah Generals, who's going to be a safety for Miami, and Evan Landry is going to actually stay for another season. So the only players that are staying are, we've had 3 quarterbacks and an offensive lineman, I think. I think those are the only players we've had stay for another year. And they've all been like 90, 91, 92 players that have just kind of stuck around, and mostly quarterbacks to up their stock. So all that seems to make sense. And despite losing out on the Heisman, he wins best quarterback despite the Heisman being lost to another quarterback. He made All-American team, second team, because the Heisman winning quarterback won, but he didn't win the Heisman, but he won best quarterback. So that's kind of weird how that works. But in the playoffs now, 20-15, Michigan is up on Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State immediately scores a touchdown to take the lead, 21-20, and a 2-point conversion for the field goal lead is passed to the outside. It's intercepted. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. 2-point conversion taken the other way, and the lead for Michigan. How often do you see a play like that, a 2-point swing on the 2-point conversion, and you lose the lead you immediately got? As now Michigan gets to play with a 1-point lead, and that changes everything as they're running the football and they're running it well. They don't have to play with quite as much urgency, but you score here and it's huge, especially if you put it in the end zone to make it a full 8-point game, as they're going to run it again. It's going to be 8 more yards, and this Michigan ground attack is putting in work. And now play action as Landry, that's where he works well off of, that play action game. He's played a clean one so far, and the run play makes a move, fighting forward, 1 yard to go, as now they backed them up on 3rd down and goal, but the running game's gonna seal the deal and put it in the end zone. But the game not quite over yet, because you're still in a 1-score game. It's 29-21, but that 2-point conversion changed everything, because even now, Oklahoma State, they got to get a 2-point conversion to make up for the 2 points that they missed, but they can find themselves in the end zone pretty quickly here as they're inside the 15, handing it off as the run will get nothing on the play. 3rd and 6 with a minute and a half to go as Oklahoma State throws it up into the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown, and the 2-pointer on the way, trying to avenge the last one. Oklahoma State outside, it's caught but short, and the onside kick is scooped up. And Oklahoma State, 2 2-point conversions, 0 points, but Michigan got 2, and that's going to be the difference. 1st down ends it, and that is a rare way to win a game because of the 2-point conversions on defense. As Evan Landry, 75 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, when he gets into the playoffs, he plays pretty clean. We also got Miami in there. Generals is going to be, available to see what he can do for this Notre Dame team. I was going to say, what is he going to do to the Notre Dame offense? Well, he's not going to be put in a good spot to do much to them, because Notre Dame gets an interception, and they have the football at the Miami 28. Defense gets a sack, though, but Miami up by 15, had a chance to go up by 3 scores. Instead, they gave Notre Dame a little bit of life. They'll only get a field goal in the drive to keep it a 2-score game, but still, again, you gave them a little bit of life on the play with that interception, as Miami's defense now has to go out and watch the Miami offense struggle some more. A sack as they'll sling a pass for a 15-yard gain, and that's what you need to see. A 1st down, move ahead to a 3rd down situation where they go and convert again. And Miami, you put it in the end zone here, and this game is likely over as they'll sweep it. They're going to lose yards, lose 2 on the play. 3rd down and 12 as they'll throw it now and have a step-up deep pass down the field, one-on-one and incomplete. Notre Dame takes over with another opportunity to see if they can cut this lead down in a nice run. They got to find the end zone here. No field goals this time, because a field goal still leaves them down by 9, which is 2 scores. So you're not going to be able to settle this time around. 3rd down and 4, they swing it outside. Nice blocking from the receiver, but not going to be able to get the 1st down still. Only one guy out there doing the work blocking. 4th and 2, read option, and they stopped. Miami able to take the football back, handing it off, sheds a tackle. Miami is going to seal the game, 39-yard touchdown. And they move on to the semifinals as Isaiah Generals does a nice job with the defense. Offense does their thing on the ground. Generals gets a pass deflection, tackle for loss, so solid game from him. As we move over, Michigan is going to take care of Baylor 31-6, so a dominant game there. and 30 of 39, 3 touchdowns. Evan Landry, spectacular, as we get a Miami-Michigan matchup now, and one of these two teams guaranteed to go to the national championship. Will it be Generals at safety? Will it be Landry at quarterback? I think Landry's been spectacular, but can he get the job done here against a really tough Miami team? We know how Miami works. We've been talking about it all video, because them, Clemson, they've been like maybe the two most prevalent teams that we've ran into so far. But Miami 13-1, Michigan 14-1, as Miami's gonna slide for a first down in a tie game. 24-yard line, 8.5 to go. Quick pass caught in the red zone, 7 yards on the play, and now 2nd and 3, as they'll have a clean pocket, find an open man underneath, and another first down goal to go, as they are backed up to the 11, but the RPO spinning around to the 1-yard line. What do you got from the 1? Sneak it in. They get stuffed on the sneak. That is impressive, and they have to kick a field goal from the 1. Oh, that's got to be one of my least favorite things, kicking a field goal from the 1-yard line. As I mean, that is, even if you miss it, I think you'd still get a chance at a safety and stuff like that. I get it's a tie game, but my goodness, kicking a field goal from the 1 is crazy. It's 17-14 though, and you give Landry a chance to tie this game up and even take the lead here if he can go on this touchdown drive. But Generals and the defense gonna have a chance to stop him here as they go with a little end around, and it works. First down, gain of 9 on the play, as they got under 4 to go from the 37. He's getting sacked, and a loss of 8. So now it's 3rd and 15, and the pass is caught, but well shy of the line. It might be enough for field goal range. They'll try it from 54. Kick is good. So it was just enough, and we got a tie game now, as it's 2:40 to play, and Miami's got a first down, 2 minutes to go. It's looking like it's going to be up to the offense to do the job, as Generals and Landry are going to be on the sidelines watching Miami get a big run on the scramble from the 49 now. Pass is knocked down, 3rd and 10, as he'll throw it, and he'll find a man open on the crosser to completion for a big gain to the 25, as Miami now looking to end this game, because Michigan is going to start burning their timeouts. Run up the middle, touchdown, as Michigan will at least have a chance on offense. 1:10 and 2 timeouts. Read option, Landry, there you go, big run, nice seal of the edge, and Landry with a huge run to the 47. 60 seconds to play, pass to the outside, caught, and it will be just 6 yards. 51 seconds to go. They're holding on to those 2 timeouts. Landry is gonna fit that in there. Nice completion to the 25. They burn the timeout, and now a pop pass to the 20 as they hurry back. 3rd down and 5, 32 seconds to go. Screen, I don't love it, and he's stopped in the backfield. Loss of 4. They'll hurry it up, and they'll save that 1 timeout. They got to go 24 yards in 20 seconds for the tie. Landry is throwing outside, tipped in, incomplete, and Michigan goes down. Generals and the Miami defense are going to the national title. Generals has 8 tackles. Meanwhile, Landry ends up with a touchdown, 267 yards. And overall for him, an awesome season. 5,600 yards, 53 touchdowns, 4 picks, 75 completion percentage, and almost 10 yards an attempt to add on. Also 5 rushing touchdowns. So, I mean, one heck of a season, and was one of the finalists for Heisman. Definitely was deserving to be in contention there. But we move over to see a national championship appearance. Georgia, Miami, 21-7. Miami down, but with the football in Georgia territory. 3rd down and 10, play action, as Georgia sending the rush. Pass is caught and into the red zone. From the 16 now. 1st and 10, they'll run it, as Georgia's defense all over it. Loss of 1, 14 carries, 23 yards for the back is rough, and now a sack, as it's going to be 4th and long. They're going to kick the field goal. 4th and 17, I get it. You got plenty of time in this 4th quarter, but you need the defense to play picture-perfect defense here. You need to either have that or then force a turnover or something. 3rd down and 5. Here's your opportunity for the 3 and out, and you get it, so there you go. 42-yard line. When you get the football back, it's the 7-minute mark, and you get a first down, and right into Georgia territory you go. You can afford to take a field goal on this drive to cut it to a 1-score game, and you find an open man on the outside. Gain of 17 on the play. 29-yard line. Quick pass, caught, first down, spin move, 2 spin moves, and he gets the goal to go. 6 minutes to play, and the run. Georgia is slipping away from this lead as the run is going to get stopped at the goal line. 3rd and goal from the 1. Will they get in? No! 4th and goal from the 2, and they're kicking. It's good. It's a 1-score game, but that just is brutal as Georgia running the ball now. Can the defense get another 3 and out, or will Georgia move it? 3rd down. It's going to be close, but he got it. And now Georgia going to run some more time. Miami with all their timeouts and 3:40 to play as they get a 7-yard run. Now make it 3rd down and 2. Bubble screen. He's not going to get it, and Miami is going to get the football back. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and that's not how you want to start your drive. It's 3rd and long already as they're stepping up, and he's going to run it. It seemed like he hesitated. He'll get it to 4th and 5 at the 2-minute warning. Game on the line here. Georgia's defense not able to get a stop. It's a big completion, and it gets to the 34. Huge gain. As Georgia's defense, they've been struggling these last couple of drives for Miami all 4th quarter as they only have that goal line stand to show for it. As Miami, 1st down to the 23. Can they pull off the comeback as it's going to be a sack? Georgia has 6 on the game. 60 seconds to play in 3rd and 14. They're floating it for the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown, Miami! And they need the 2 for the tie. Can they get it? 55 seconds to go. 2-point conversion. 19-21. Pass intercepted. And no 2-point conversion for Miami. And the onside kick is picked up by Georgia. And that will do it. Georgia wins the national title, and the efforts of Generals and the Miami defense not gonna be enough. The offense just came alive a little too late, and Generals goes and has 6 tackles on the game, has a pretty solid season. 66 tackles, 5 picks, 5 pass breakups, 2 tackles for loss, half a sack. Not too bad. And he'll go to the draft. He'll be a 1st-round draft pick, it looks like, as a redshirt sophomore. There he goes. And we will move on to one of the last players, Evan Landry, also 1st-round pick, very well deserving. And we have Kevin Zenner, a guard going to Alabama from TCU. And he is going to be pretty nice, mid-90s overall, as we've kind of gotten accustomed to with some of these players. We go to the end of the season, Alabama, no playoffs for them, and going into a bowl matchup against Oklahoma State, 8-4 versus 8-4, as Oklahoma State down the middle of the field got a completion for a big 1st down into the red zone. Oklahoma, very next play, got it into the end zone for the score, and tying this game up immediately as Alabama and this guard take over for the offense. He is going to be out there with the star under him, one of the guys in the offensive line with a star under him. So, I mean, if you want to keep an eye on him, I think that was him who just leveled a guy. I guess offensive lineman can be fun sometimes because he just absolutely put a dude on his back. And if that wasn't him, it's going to be kind of awkward. But that's an interception. And Oklahoma State, why'd you throw that into double coverage if you're Alabama? That was brutal as Oklahoma State takes it over. And they are going to throw a pick right back the other way immediately. And Alabama, well, hey, quarterback, you got bailed out big time. And you even gained yards on the trade of interceptions as he'll throw it down the field. And that's a good ball. And he breaks the tackle and gets in. Touchdown, Bama. Great series of back-to-back plays there as they are going to take a 7-point lead, and Oklahoma State now 3rd and 4. Pass to the outside is caught. He hung on, going to the ground, and now from the 32. 7 minutes to play, and the pass floated, caught as he will get to close to midfield, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. Clock down to about 6 minutes to play as another 1st down into Bama territory. That receiver's over 100 yards on the game. 2nd and 13. And they'll get a completion. Reaching. He's going to be a 3rd and 1 at the 5-minute mark as the run. He tries to cut it outside. I think he had a lane on the inside. Instead, they'll go for it on 4th down because they have to. And this time he'll get it. as they'll be right inside of the red zone now. 2nd and 8. Screen is going to be first down. Goal to go. Oklahoma State at the 3 minutes mark. Gonna try to go for the tie, the run. He's not gonna get there. 3-yard line. 3rd and goal. Read option. One man to beat, and he gets brought down in the open field. It's 4th and goal. 2-minute warning as he'll throw, and he's sacked. And Alabama is gonna take over, needing probably a first down or two to end it, and there is going to be a 3rd and 1, so now a first down will end it, and they get that 1 yard they need. Game is over. Alabama wins it 21-14, and for the guard, he plays a little under 1,000 snaps, a sack allowed, but you know, pretty solid. He will be going to the NFL, and he will be likely a day 2 draft pick. Could maybe sneak into round 1, but no, he goes round 2. And not only are we going to stick with Alabama, we get a wide receiver 5-star, Tavita Chang. He's coming over from Kansas State. And with a 99 elusiveness rating, he's going to be a pretty fun player to watch potentially, and we'll see what Alabama has, as they are not going to be in the playoff hunt again, as they go 10-3. So this time a little bit better, but 14th in the country, not quite enough, and it's 21-16 against Florida State, as Alabama's quarterback is running all over the place and not getting a first down or even getting that football out. 21 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll go and check it down for 9. 3rd and 12, as he will step up and throw the football. What in the world was that throw? Okay, right to a defender. I guess I don't know what the heck he was doing there, but someone's got to check him for having money on the other team, because my goodness, what in the world was that? 21-16, Florida State is going to have, at the very least, a field goal on this drive, barring a turnover, but they're looking for the end zone to make it a 2-score game. 3rd and 4 with 7.5 to go. Pass is caught, and it's a first down as they're inside the 10, and Alabama does get a tackle for loss, but as Florida State's going to have a 3rd down and 10, they are going to get stopped, go for the field goal, and with a 2-score game, not going to be able to be put up because of them getting the stop before the touchdown. It'll be an 8-point game instead with 6 minutes to play, and Alabama still very much has a chance in this one as the run game. Yeah, maybe run the football, because I don't know if I trust this quarterback. It's a little crazy that he threw that ball that he did, as they'll throw another pass. This one a lot better, and to the 40-yard line and a first down. 4.5 to go. Play action, taking a sack, and it will be Florida State backing him up to 3rd down and 12. Passes just over his head, and this quarterback stinks. They're going for a 59-yard field goal. Kick is no good. That's really risky. I mean, not only would the field goal have not really, like, you know, it would have made a bit of a difference, obviously. It wouldn't have made that big of a difference because you still need a touchdown, but now you give them great field position, and Florida State is almost going to bring that one in off the tip. They'll instead get the stop, so I guess no harm done except for field position maybe. You need to go, 80 full yards on this drive. They got the first 7 on the first play, and how about another 8 on the next? Now 1st down and 10, they go with the run once more. He's going to have another nice one, as if they had enough time to just run the ball all the way down the field, I think they would, but they got to trust this quarterback, and he finds a wide open man inside the 20. There you go, wide open for a first down to the 16-yard line. He'll throw outside. It's high but caught, and down to the 7. 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard gain. Run play, touchdown Alabama, and you need the 2 to send a potential overtime if your defense can do its job. But the Alabama offense is going to throw it short, and they are not going to get it. And now Florida State is going to have the football because they didn't kick it onside. They're going to trust their defense with all their timeouts. Florida State does get out of bounds there, so that does help out. Play action, though, throwing, and they throw a pick under the defensive lineman. What the heck was that? 2 crazy picks in this game. That one, impressive play in the screen. I don't know how the running back just dropped that ball. What is going on in this game? As Alabama's quarterback is getting sacked, and it's 4th and long, they all of a sudden got to immediately take a field goal that's almost blocked, and the kick is good. All of a sudden, Florida State's losing this game with a minute to play, and they got 1 timeout. They're going to hold on to it. They need to get into field goal range here, as that pass is incomplete. 4th down, and the game could end right here, and it will. Bama with the win, and very odd way that they won that game, but a win is a win, I suppose, as they'll take home the bowl victory. And Chan goes for 44 yards on 4 catches on the season as a whole. He'll have actually a pretty nice 1,100 yard and 6 touchdown season, so not bad. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for him as we head over to what will be the last player of the video. And for the last player, you know, Tavita Chang obviously going to go in the 1st round. He's a 96 overall, so last player now. And this one not going to be a long one. Leonard Gilliam, a safety who's going to be a redshirt senior going into his final season, or a true senior, or whatever it is. He's a pretty high overall. He's pretty solid. Typical player that we have seen, but he didn't make the playoffs. His bowl game was a 41-3 domination, so there wasn't really much to talk about with Gilliam. Kind of an uneventful last player, but he did have 2 picks in the bowl game, which is pretty impressive. Good on him. 4 picks on the season. But with that, we're going to be able to move on to the very last portion of this video. You know, it's going to be a little bit different this time with the statistics and everything because it's portal players and not #1 overall recruits. But let's get into all the stats, all the info, all the stuff you love to see as we get into the information, where we start off with the fact that between these 25 players, 17 of them were actually 5-star portal players. And you know, at least when you compare the game to last year, 5-star portal players were not all that common. They weren't like crazy. They were pretty rare. That's why I didn't really want to do a video on it like last year. It's just the portal wasn't all that crazy last year. It wasn't all that interesting compared to how it is this year. But we got some really crazy players in the portal this year. And even the 4-stars, they weren't bad or anything. And when you get to what the players were when they came into their new school, so what year of their career they were in after they arrived at their new school, not when they were in the portal, because it says when they're in the portal, it says what they were last year, not what they're going to be. So if it says they're a sophomore in the portal, they're going to be a junior. They're going into their junior season. So, you know, sometimes it can get a little confusing there. But 5 of the players were going into their redshirt sophomore season. None of them were true sophomores, I'm pretty sure. They were all going into their redshirt sophomore season. And then those players were the crazy ones too. Those were like the 5-star players, and that were like crazy wide receivers. But then most of them were going into their junior season. 15 of the 25 players were going into their junior season, and then 5 of the players were going into their senior season. If development traits really like matter here, I mean, because most of the players were one and done, so the development didn't matter too much. But if you wanted to know, only 2 were impact, none were normal. So all the players were basically star or elite. 13 were star, 10 were elite, and that's what you got with these developments, where these players were like already coming in as like a 90 overall, and they were still jumping up +3, +4, +5, some of them. So like the development for these players and how good they were, like the #1 portal player, you get some crazy guy. And then we can also quickly cover the positions that they were. So you start from the bottom. Edge and cornerback both had a player each. Safety and guard had 2 players each, but the prevalent positions were not like too surprising. I guess I would have anticipated a little bit more edges, but you know, typically, you know, quarterback is what I would have expected, but wide receivers, I mean, yeah, that also makes sense. Wide receivers, there's just such a plethora of talent at the wide receiver position, and I mean, Ohio State gave us a lot of wide receivers to really go after, but 8 of the players were wide receivers, 7 were quarterbacks, 4 were tackles. We had a little run on offensive linemen at one point. We had a little run on wide receivers at one point, but, you know, sprinkled in were quarterbacks and other positions throughout. So, you know, we didn't see any running backs, though. I would have thought we would maybe see a running back, but no running backs, no linebackers, no interior D linemen, no tight ends. So there were some positions that just never popped up. And even, you know, like when you were looking at maybe the top 5, there were some positions that were very rare to see up there. There wasn't really a big need to do certain aspects of the development path, but I still wanted to kind of show you a little bit of it, even though most of these players, like I said, were like one and done. So the year 1 overall was the overall I put going into the transfer portal. This was the overall that they were before progression. So on average, before even getting off-season progression, the players were a 91 to a 92 overall. Then once you get the progression, so the player that is now on your team after being the #1 portal player, getting the off-season training boost, on average, they were about a 94 overall. Only a handful of players stuck around for a season after that, because on average, if you're a 94 overall, that basically means you're not only an NFL caliber player, you're like a top 3 round caliber player, and also they're progressing throughout the season, so, you know, they're 94, 95, 96, and we even had higher than that. So then, you know, if you do happen to make it to another season, on average, they were about a 94 overall, which kind of holds true. And, you know, when it came to players having big jumps, only a +6. So, you know, usually the biggest jumps that you get are early in their careers from like elite devs. That's where you get like a +10 or something. But still, if a player on average coming in was like a 91, 92, and the biggest jump we had was a +6, I mean, you can do the math yourself. That's 97, 98 overall. We had players hit that high. When it came to players who hit 99 overall, like, that's one of the stats we could put down there. 2 players hit 99 overall. They were both wide receivers. It's funny that one was amazing and one wasn't actually all that good. Like, the other 99 overall kind of stunk. And then players that were below a 90, every single player after the first offseason training hit 90 overall or better. Like, there was nobody below a 90 overall. There was, like, you know, a small amount of players that before offseason training were like high 80s, but then they immediately got back up to 90, which means there was no real point in doing like an overall ladder, because I mean, everybody was at least like a 90 overall, and like everybody was great. Like, everybody was great, and then there were some players that were even better than great. But yeah, the players were just off the charts levels of good. It makes the statistics of the draft pretty funny, because every single player got drafted, and not only that, I mean, that's not a surprise that every player got drafted, but it's where they got drafted. From the 25 players, 20 of them were first-round draft picks. That is insane. And among the other 5 players, 3 were seconds, 1 was a third, and 1 was a fourth. And the funny thing is, the one player who was a third-round pick I thought was one of the best players of the video, and the fourth-round pick, I mean, probably should have stayed in school for another year. He was kind of one of the lower overall players that the players like him. He was the only one that didn't want to stay for another year. Every other player that was like 91 or 92, they just stuck around for another season. They were offensive linemen and quarterbacks. This 92 overall player, who it was a tackle for Oklahoma, he just wanted to leave, and he won in the 4th round. So still, like, that's like the worst player we got drafted. Everybody, though, was a top 100 pick, basically, aside from one player. And then every player other than 5 were first rounders. That is an insane level of talent output. Move over to milestones, and there's not going to be like a bunch of overall career milestones like yardage totals or win totals or something, because they only played 1 year other than 4 players. But for those players, 13 of them made an appearance in the playoffs. 10 of them won a playoff game, which is a pretty high ratio in these videos, I'm pretty sure. Like, typically we get into like maybe 5 to 7 range of players winning playoff games, but 7 won multiple playoff games. 4 of them, like I said, made it to a second year on their team. 3 of them were an award winner. 5 of them made an NCAA All-American team. 10 of them were conference All-Americans. We had 2 national champions and 1 Heisman Trophy winner, which, you know, when we get to the Heisman Trophy winner, naturally leads us into the best of the best and trying to pick the best single seasons or players that had a good 2 seasons. And, you know, for the best of the best, actually, 3 of the players on here were the players that had 2 seasons under their belt. And it's not just because they had more cumulative statistics, but the players that played 2 seasons were pretty good. So we start at the bottom. John Brommel was really good. Among all the non-Leon Hyman receivers, he was by far the second best receiver. I felt like, you know, we had 2 receivers put up like 1,100 yards and a couple of touchdowns, but Hyman was great, obviously, and no one really touched him. But Brommel, you know, a smooth, like 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, you know, like was close to going to a national championship, had his little issues with Clemson where he was at Clemson, lost to Miami in the playoffs, then transferred to Miami just to lose to Clemson in the playoffs. So, you know, funny stuff there. But then John Yagakwe, for a guy who was, like I said, one of the 3rd round picks. I mean, he was one of the lowest picked players. He played 27 games, so 2 full seasons, made an NCAA All-American team, played about 2,100 snaps, and 0 sacks allowed. I think that's really impressive. Like, I really do. So, you know, I wanted to give him a little bit of acknowledgement there. Then you go to the 2 quarterbacks. Evan Landry was amazing. He was a Heisman finalist in his 2nd season. He had 10,000 yards, 95 touchdowns, 16 picks, and completed 71% of his passes and had some playoff success. AJ Frazier made a national championship appearance, had 9,800 yards, 79 touchdowns, 16 picks. So not as good as Evan Landry, but had more team success. And then obviously the best player, Leon Hyman, who had in his one singular season 130 catches, a record-setting 2,186 yards, 18.8 yards per catch, and 24 touchdowns to a Heisman Trophy and a national championship victory over AJ Frazier and his USC squad. So, like, far and away, I think just the outright best player and one of the best players that we have seen. Now, he wasn't one of those players that when we spectated him, he went crazy. He had a couple of catches when we spectated him, but he, you know, was more so doing his thing behind the scenes. But still, amazing season. And also, like, for someone who wasn't even in the video, wasn't one of our players, the quarterback at Clemson who threw about 6,000 yards and 65 touchdowns, I mean, he was pretty crazy as well. So you get the right quarterback with the right receiver, and that's what happens. You win a national championship and set all the records. So let me know what you guys thought of doing it like this, with doing the top portal players, even though the players were more like one and done. This is more what college basketball would look like because of all the one and dones. But, you know, let me know what you thought of this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, of course, as all that stuff is super helpful. And I will see you guys all in the next one.